Hello, everybody. Well, that was cute. Thanks to Jesse. I'm like addicted to that song now. Hey, Pugs and Coffee. Welcome as a new member. Hey, Selah. I put the link in for you. Hey, Amanda. Hey, SD. Hey, Melanie. So hopefully we get to read about some sharks and stuff this time. That'll be funny. Hey, cool gamer. Oh man, it says device not connected, Selah. Darn it. Can't stay long. Season of Jeopardy starts tonight. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Better with Irish. Hey, Britt. There we go. Hello. Oh, you're muted, girly.
Oh.
There we go.
Come on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry I have so much trouble.
It's okay. You should see when I've done so many streams where I don't even add myself and I'll be talking for 5 minutes and nobody can hear me.
I've done that before.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. Oh my god, SD's like, I'm kind of hoping that John Walsh will take on Bigfoot next.
Oh.
I'm hoping for some funny stuff, hopefully. Anyways.
Yeah, hopefully it's got to be mixed in there somewhere with his ego.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I got in touch with Megan Walsh this week a little bit on Twitter.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Great. Would she ever want to come over here?
That's what I'm trying to get to. I did. She actually replied to me.
Oh, great.
And so I'm kind of, today I told her that we were trying to get her story out. But I'm going to try to see if she'll reply to me because I don't want to push her. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. That's awesome that she got back to you. Even that would just be good enough for me.
But, well, she put she retweeted my tweet that I put on hers. And then she actually tagged me and then put like a prayer and then a broken heart and then me to speak my truth out like she's doing basically. So that's good.
Yeah. So that'd be nice. I don't know, just to see her point of view and what actually happened with what's going on with her children. You know what I mean? Like, I feel so bad for her. I want to hear her side.
Me too. I'm working on it, girl.
Well, thank you for doing that. I didn't even expect you to do that, but that's awesome that she got back to you. Hopefully, we can get her in here and just, I don't know.
I'm thinking hopefully by the time we get to the end of the book, she'll reach back out to me and maybe I can just get her email and kind of email back and forth and ask her, would she like to be, because I think she's trying to get her story out any way she can.
I think so
I feel like she probably would do it, but I'm not going to answer for her, but I kind of feel that way.
Do you? Okay. I was just thinking maybe next time or even tonight, if you feel like it, just maybe post this stream. Maybe she'll look at it and that might help.
That's a good idea.
Feel more comfortable, maybe.
That's what I'll do. Yeah.
Yeah, that way she can watch it if she wants, and if she doesn't want to, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That's what I'll do. Because I really do want to get her story out there because she's had to be quiet for so long. It's not fair,
Yeah, you know what I mean? I want to hear her side. Yeah, everybody's saying they want to hear her too. Yeah. Hey, Peace. Hey, Crystal. Didn't he do the Loch Ness thing last chapter?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
John all kinds of things.
Yeah, she definitely probably has some stories she could tell.
Oh,
Better
sure.
with Irish. Oh, have you guys got in touch yet? Because you and Better with Irish?
I haven't. And actually, did you ever get my email?
No, I never did. I've been looking for you, and I'm like, great, where is? I can't find it.
See, it's in my draft, so that's like
that means
where my stuff goes. Yeah, and so I don't know if I've got maybe a part of it wrong. I'm gonna get I need glasses. My glasses. I've got readers right now, so I'm gonna have to get my big vocals out and do it. I might have something wrong. I'll have to go through that again today then and see. If you can re-put it back into the thing so I can try to look at it with my glasses on, because the last time I didn't have them on at all.
Yeah, I can put my email in here again.
Yeah, because I think that I probably just got a letter or put something in the wrong place.
Well, maybe. All right, there's my email. Iris says, I completely believe her, meaning Megan. I know how the lights are, and most won't believe it, but it's in your face if you look.
Hmm.
Hey, Wicked Tea.
She even put a picture of herself between, I believe it was George Bush Sr., old man Bush, and Ronald Reagan, and they were kissing on each side of her face. Like she was like maybe two at the most, and she said, "What does this say? What does this face say to you?"
Oh, wow. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
All right, you ready to start? I'll start reading. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Who's the other beautiful person on the panel? That would be Selah, Rose of Sharon. Do you know she was actually named after? Here, you tell them.
You can tell them. It's kind of
Story.
weird, but my mom named me after Sharon Tate because she just loved her. And I was born a year and a month after she died, so I thought that was weird. And I ended up
That was,
marrying a guy named Jay.
oh my God, like JC Bray.
I know, how weird. Like if reincarnation were true, maybe we're living the life they wanted to instead of
Yeah.
the spotlight. I don't believe in that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to read this chat. So we're on chapter 3, and this one is titled Adam. So hopefully, I'm going to say maybe here, I'm going to put a trigger. Brittany, can you put a trigger warning in here just in case? I'm assuming it's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal says, hi, Selah, you're gorgeous.
Oh, hello. Thank you. I'm a little bit older than that picture. I was about 17 there.
You are gorgeous.
Thank you.
That picture, oh my God, very, very pretty.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So Reve was a beautiful pregnant woman. If you look at pictures of her from that time, you can see it. She became even prettier than she already was. She had gotten into bodybuilding and was very disciplined about it. Okay.
All right.
While she's pregnant, she was very disciplined about it and was into being healthy. When she was pregnant, she took extremely good care of herself. Closer to her due date, she started having baby showers with her family and girlfriends. We didn't want to come home from the hospital and not have the changing table set up, so we spent a lot of time getting ready for the big event. The baby's room was going to be in the front bedroom. I was doing a lot of work in the Bahamas and still flying over there all the time, and we were getting some important publicity. Burt Reynolds was supposed to be coming over with a film crew because someone had told him about this crazy diving operation that Garfield and I had. Oh, of course. Here we go.
So he's already in with Burt Reynolds before Adam even goes missing? What?
Holy crap. Oh, I'm sorry, Irish. Oh, I know. I completely understand that, the headaches and migraines.
Oh, no, she got a headache.
Yeah, she's got to go. She's had it and won't quit for days.
Oh, sorry. I can identify also.
Yeah.
Praying
All
for
right.
you.
Yeah. It would have been a big, big break for the resort. Me being filmed teaching Burt Reynolds how to snorkel. It was
Wow.
too close to Reve's due date, so I had to turn it down. Bullshit.
Right. You were using it for shark chum earlier last chapter.
I know. Holy crap. This guy, I'm telling you.
Oh.
All right. Then finally came the day we had waited for. Reve went into labor, and we drove pretty calmly, as I recall, to North Shore Hospital in Miami Shores. Back in those days, fathers weren't allowed into the delivery room. I tried, but they made me wait outside. And at 12:15 p.m., November 14th, 1974, a nurse came out to tell me that our baby had been born. I remember that day as a blur of happiness, all of us in the waiting room, going into the nursery and seeing him for the first time. He was the only grandchild on my entire side of the family, the first in a whole big family of Irish Catholics. We named him Adam after my father, Adam John Walsh. How could it have been anything other than one of those most joyous days of my life? It's a boy, I'm a father, holy mackerel. I had created a new member of the species, and I would now have a legacy. My genes would be carried on along with the Welsh name. I hadn't thought I would care whether it was a boy or girl, but any male is lying who doesn't admit he's happy that his firstborn is a son. The male ego. Any man
Yeah.
wants to have, yeah, any man wants to have a son he can play ball with. Get all that out of the way so that he can go on to have a little daughter to pamper. Seeing your very own offspring in the tribe, a human thing. I was so proud. To this day, I shout in the car when good things happen. People always think you're nuts if you talk to yourself, but I never thought it was strange in the least. I remember riding in the car and blasting the radio and yelling at the top of my lungs, I'm a father. And of course, Reve came through like a champ. Reve always said that. I was not the demonstrative type because I never sent her a lot of gifts and flowers and things. But it was different on the day Adam was born. She hadn't taken Lamaze class. I don't think there were those classes back then. It was truly natural childbirth. Your wife just did it. At a time like this, or sorry, at the time, like all the local divers, I used to wear wooden clogs. Reve says she remembers lying in her hospital bed and hearing the sound of the clop, clop, clop as I came walking down the hospital corridor to her room. The echo of the footsteps on the tile, hearing me coming. It was so ecstatic. I was so ecstatic. We couldn't afford luxuries back in those days, but on the nightstand by her bed were a dozen red carnations, and in the center of all those red flowers was a single one white. That was what I sent her. The white one was for Adam. The day that
Mm.
Adam was born was like no other day of my life. We were happy beyond words. I remember calling everybody up and screaming and yelling. I was delirious, elated beyond measure. As of that day, my life was perfect. Reve and I were fine. Work was going great, and now we had a little boy. But now we had a little baby, a boy. I went to look at him in the nursery, and he was the handsomest. Of all the other babies, some were splotchy, others a little misshapen. Adam was a perfect little baby everyone was looking at. It was a different kind of love, something that we ourselves had created, our own flesh and blood. It's not like the love you have for your wife, or your brother and sisters, or the mother and father, who you know will die someday. While Rave was in the hospital, I got the house all cleaned up. I couldn't wait for this new little glorious person to come home. For all of the joy, though, there was also something terribly sad going on in our family. Not too long before Adam was born, my father had started to not feel very well, and he seemed to be getting weaker and weaker. Once on a visit to the family upstate, we were all playing football out in the front yard. Like the Kennedys,
Oh Lord.
like the Kennedys, cousins, friends, the whole gang. My dad, who had always been such an athlete, went out for a pass. I was defending him and accidentally knocked him down. He was hurt, he crumpled up, and it turned out that he had broken two of his ribs. Holy shit.
His father?
Yeah, he broke his freaking ribs.
Dadgum, he
Wow.
broke the old man's father's rib. No wonder
I
he wasn't
felt,
doing well.
yeah. It's like I felt terrible because I thought I caused it. What we didn't know was that my father was sick. The diagnosis was multiple myeloma. Myeloma? I think so.
Melanoma?
Must be melanoma. Yeah, it's like melanoma. I don't know. It's Myeloma. Myeloma? I don't know.
I don't
Anyways, it
know.
was bone cancer. Yeah, it's what I was thinking melanoma, but it doesn't sound
No.
like that. We thought we were going to lose him. My dad's bone got so brittle that they would snap at nothing. My mom and my youngest brother, Joe, would have to call the ambulance that took him over to the VA hospital in Syracuse. It was the best in central New York, but I was 30 miles away from the house in Auburn, and he would have to endure that painful ride. My mother seemed, I don't know, lost. And then there was Joe, only 15 years old, younger than all the rest of us. After Jimmy and Jane and I had all left the home, it was Joe who stayed feeding my dad, washing and carrying him to the bathroom when he couldn't do it for himself. Joe, more than anyone else, was brokenhearted. The only thing I wanted was for my father to hang on long enough to see my first baby born. I was going to be a great testament to him, a real father and his cat. He had always talked about how he couldn't wait to be a grandfather because he was going to take the kid to ball games and spoil him. Neither my brothers nor my sisters was married at the time, but Dad was happy that at least one of us had been smart enough to settle down and give him a grandchild. When Adam was born, there was such joy. I talked Reve into letting me borrow him when he was still an infant so I could take him up to New York to show my dad. I was so desperate to have my father see Adam before he died. He was hurting so bad. And when someone's got cancer, you never know. They could get pneumonia and be gone in 2 days. So Joe and I went up in the ward and asked one of the nurses if we could bring Adam in. She said because of the possibility of wiping out a whole ward, because children are so prone to colds and viruses and babies are not immune to certain viruses, it's totally against the rule to bring a child in here. Sorry, just 1 second here. Sorry about that. I just had to tell my son to shut the door. They're so loud back
No,
there. It's like you're.
I made my husband leave the room.
Yeah. So I figured that with Joe and Jimmy, we could get Adam up the fire escape. Seriously? It was freaking 10 degrees out, but if one brother went ahead, checked the hallway to make sure the coast was clear, we could do it. Operation Welsh. My dad had hung on long enough to see his first grandchild. The least we could do was sneak this little baby in and put him on my father's bed so that he could see him and hold him. Once the head nurse came in and saw what was going on, and she just turned around and walked back out, never told a soul. We have pictures of my dad with Adam when Adam was 4 months old. My father had been feeling up to it, so he came down with my mother to Florida for a visit. Adam was in the stroller, and we all went to Disney World and dragged my dad all over the place. He had a body brace on and was sickly. Things weren't getting any better, but he was still laughing a lot. Later, when things got worse and my dad couldn't get out of bed, we went to Auburn for a visit. We put Adam's playpen in Dad's room so that Adam could pull himself up and stand holding the rail. The little guy would take his head all the way back, stretch his neck, make a round circle with his mouth, and then finally let out a little ooh, ooh, ooh. It made us all laugh so hard that he'd just do it more. My family gives nicknames to everybody, and because of that, Adam was Rooster, which became Rooster McCooster, and then finally Cooter. Oh,
Oh, that sounds so sweet, though. I mean, it's sad to
yeah,
think about all those family, the granddad and all that, seeing
yeah,
him. That's sad.
yeah. So, which was his nickname until the day he died? My father had always talked about how he was going to spoil his grandkids. The only thing was, he never got a chance to. In those days, the hospitals didn't know how to administer morphine the way they do now. He went down to 90 pounds and was in terrible pain, but he never asked once, why me? The nurses had to remark about what a champion he was, how, in spite of everything, he never complained. He died at age 54. Even on his deathbed, he had such class.
Wow, that's young.
Yeah, it is. Afterward, my mother was devastated. The lovely gentleman she had loved almost all of her life was now gone. It broke my heart to have her so far away, all the way up in New York. So Reve and I asked her to be nearer to us, to come down to Florida to live. Jimmy was then in California, and Jane was gone a lot. She had gotten a job as a singer with a well-known sax player, Stan Getz. But Joe and Jane moved down with my mom into a little house in a town called Dania, not far from us. Hervé loved my mom. She said my mom had way too much class to ever say anything bad about anybody. She called her the silent majority. After Adam was born, my mom's nickname became Graham. Later on, when he started talking, he was the first one to call her Graham Crackers. That's cute.
That is cute.
Yeah. We knew right away that this little grandson was going to save her. By that point, we were living in a little three-bedroom house at 2801 McKinley Street in Hollywood, Florida, which was right next to Fort Lauderdale. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, Adam's room in the front, the master bedroom in the back. I did the yard. Reve decorated the house. We had a wicker and bamboo furniture, lots of plants, and an antique writing desk in the living room. The house was on the corner, next to an elementary school, not far from the golf course and a ball field. Adam was the big event in all of our lives. Jane was his godmother. Joe was big brother. Our little kid was the center of the Planet Walsh in Florida universe. Of course, that's a tremendous change in anyone's life, from getting up in the middle of the night to change diapers because your wife has been up all night breastfeeding. So putting in the extra hours at work because the bills have to be paid. But now you aren't just saving up for a motorcycle or a nice car. Now you have responsibilities. Right from the start, Adam was really mellow. He had a gentle, calming presence. I know that he had a maturing effect on me. I'd always dreamed of being a dad like my dad, and now I was responsible for this little baby. We watched him constantly. He couldn't make a move without us studying him. He slept with us in our bed because we couldn't seem to put him down in his bassinet. Then he started to smile, and we really went crazy. All the experts in the world can tell you that it's gas, but you know why it's happening. It's because he loves you. I always used to think that women smelled great, nowhere near as great as the smell babies have.
Wow.
Adam never had the terrible twos or the unruly threes. He was always spoken to respectfully like a person with a brain and feelings. We took him to restaurants because he never threw a tantrum. People would always comment on what a well behaved little kid he was. We didn't believe in him keeping him locked up in the house until he turned 7 and then suddenly exposing him to the world. Once during one of our sales trips to Urethra, no, that can't be right.
What? Where'd that go?
I said urethra.
That's a bladder. That's in your blood.
Oh yeah, but this does sound like that. It is urethra. Okay, I'm not. It's like
Where's it at? I
It
mean,
says
like what
I don't know. During one of our
state?
sales trips to Aretha, I ain't saying. Okay, we'll just
We'll just say somewhere.
yeah. They went somewhere anyways on our trip.
Yeah.
Everyone decided to bring the kids along. Of course, I'd screw it up. Crystal's like the baby smiling because he's shitting. He's gassy.
Right.
There was a flotilla of 3 big boats, 2 for adults and all the kids on the third, but we wouldn't do that to Adam. He came on board with us, the only child on the big person's boat. I went down for cocktails one evening and found him sitting on a stool at the bar, surrounded by people. All the grown-ups were sliding over and talking to him. Buddhists believe that some people have what they call old souls, as if they had already been here on earth many times. Adam was like that. He was a little old soul. There were always people in and out of our house. In those days, such as O'Regan, my brother Joe, and Jim Campbell, a friend of Michael and Johnny Monahan, who worked at the sailboat rental concession at the Diplomat. Jimmy, more than anyone, spent a lot of time at our house. If someone has a really beautiful dog, like an Afghan, and everyone else wants to take it for walks, that's how all our friends were about Adam. Can I take him to the ball game? Can he come to the movies?
What? Oh, wait a minute. See, this is the stuff that Megan is talking about with her childhood. So this is really weird. She's saying she was
Really?
put in places she shouldn't have been. I don't know. I just had to mention that. That just seems so
Yeah.
strange to me. I would never let my child go
No.
off with I don't care who they are.
Same. That's what it sounds like here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That just really like hit me like really hard when I heard that.
And it looks like they let him because they're like, can he come to the movies with me? He was the
Yeah.
first little kid in our crowd, and everybody was always asking to borrow him.
Borrow him. I mean, like what?
He's not a toy.
Yeah,
Wow.
that really just the only reason it concerns me is because of knowing what I've written out. Knowing about Megan. I mean,
Yep.
it makes me really think, what are they doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, continue.
No, that's all good. Grandma used to say that she would rather have a conversation with Adam than with any grown up in the room. He was just a lot of fun to have along. One day, Michael Monahan was over visiting Reve around dinner time. Adam knew that I was going to be home in a few minutes, so we started gearing up. He liked to dress up like monsters and cartoon characters, and that day he put on his little Batman cape. He listened for the sound of my car pulling into the driveway, and when he heard it, he ducked behind the door. I came in, and as I got to the end of the hall, boom, Adam flew out and tackled me, grinding his little teeth and trying to be scary. Ooh, I'm the evil monster. I was trying so hard to act scared. Coots, oh no, don't hurt me. And not to bust out laughing. But I guess it was pretty obvious that I just had one of those grueling days at work because all of a sudden Adam stopped cold, looked up at me, and in the most serious adult, concerned sounding way said, "Oh, Daddy, what's the matter? Did you have a hard day at work?" Michael Monahan said that you could always tell when I was really laughing by the way my eyes would crinkle up, and that's the way he remembers me laughing that day. Even when he was tiny, Adam had sharp clothes. On the playground, all the other kids looked kind of scruffy compared to him. He's very conceited. I mean,
He really is.
say that. And even about his family, like I get obviously people love their children, but he seems to be that I'm better than everybody.
Materialistic and just
Yeah.
yeah. Like my kid's not going to play with you if you live in less than we have, or if you have not name brand clothes, or
Yeah. I don't like that. That's
I mean,
like he's coming off already from the get go as a bad person. And I
Yeah.
never thought that way about him until I started reading this book.
I never thought about it until I found out what Megan started
Yeah.
talking about. Like it woke me up. Like what?
Exactly. No matter how small he was, he always had a sports coat and dress shirts. He looked like the miniature version of an older prep school kid. He wore not sneakers but topsiders and small Zod shirts made of regular tees. His favorite hat was a captain's hat that I had bought him, an expensive one with black braid and a visor. Of course, it was expensive. I don't understand the bragging here.
And then him talking about the ISOD shirt, it has to be name brand.
Yeah.
The expensive hat. And it sounds like to me he's dressed him up like a little himself, like a little
Yeah.
mini me. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I don't feel it necessary to put all that in this book. It just makes him look like an even bigger dick than he already is.
Exactly.
All in all, he was mature, grown-up little guy, but in a lot of ways, he was also a typical little boy. He loved to do little kid things. Reve tried to follow Dr. Spock about how kids should sleep in their own beds to get used to the routine of it, but Adam just went around to my side of the bed because he knew his dad would always sneak him in. We had pets, a white rabbit named Hocus Pocus, because of all the magic shows that Adam staged. and a great tiger cat named Tigger that he talked us into keeping after we came home one day and found the stray kitten in the yard. Adam loved to draw spiders and monsters and ghosts, things that were scary, but not too scary, creepy crawly things. His favorite hand puppet was a spider with long hairy legs, whose name, of course, became Hairy Spider. That was the one toy that didn't get covered with finger paints. But the biggest thing of all was Star Wars. He had a Chewbacca doll and Sandstorm Trooper vehicles, and he loved Princess Leia. Princess Leia. Then those, we never really bought Adam many plastic toys. Reve had a special name for stuff like that, landfill. We always read to Adam from the time he was little, although lately he was beginning to want to read to us, as he loved to draw, not scribblings and gibberish, but big crayon drawings that were only a little bit scary. Whether these creatures were ghosts or werewolves or sharks, they all seemed to have one thing in common: big, dangerous teeth and nails. That was something he and I cooked up ourselves. With me in the house, of course, there were always pranks and foolishness going on. Halloween was a huge deal at our house. We prided ourselves in doing costumes big time, but never store-bought ones. Only homemade. One year, when he was really little, Adam was Mickey Mouse. Next, he wanted to be a mummy, and the year after was a skeleton. That was the costume that Reve remembers best. She put Adam into a black leotard and laid him down on the living room floor and started painting little skeleton bones freehand. She wasn't using a picture as a guide. I don't know, like even that bugs me. Okay, we get it. You know, like why do you have to keep going? Yeah.
Sounds like it's something that they're explaining something else to me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying sexually or anything. I'm saying, but just him laying on the floor in that position, and then like it being Halloween, that's just weird to me.
Yeah.
I mean, with their history now of knowing their family's history, that's to me weird. Like poor little Adam, he bless his heart. I mean, he sounds precious as he can be. You know, he can't help. You know.
Yeah, it is like a trophy. Yep.
Yeah.
He's very stuck on himself. My son's the best. The clothes are the best. I can dance with black people and wrestle sharks. Blah blah blah.
Exactly.
All right, let's see now. The foot bone's connected to the ankle bone. She fudged it a little and got engrossed in the painting. Finally, by the time she was done, Adam had fallen sound asleep right on the floor with all those little skeleton bones painted on his back black leotard. Softly, she woke him up. Adam, Mummy's done. It's time to trick or treat. Open your eyes. He did, and Reve says she'll never forget the look on his face. He peered down past his chin, seeing what she had done, and his eyes got as wide as saucers. That's so cool, Mommy. That's just so cool.
Oh.
And there was the year he was the werewolf, a great one, like Lon Chaney, who always wore a banged-up suit that was a little too tight and had two short sleeves. Reve took a little khaki-colored polyester suit of Adam's and put it in hot Rit dye black, just long enough to shrink it and turn it all streaky and awful-looking. My brother Joe bought a miniature werewolf costume mask that covered Adam's whole head. Then we cut up a Halloween wig and glued the hairs from it onto the backs of Adam's hands and the tops of his feet. He wore flip-flops to show them off, but that wasn't the reason that Adam took first place in the costume. That wasn't the reason that he took first place in the contest at school that year. It was because when he lined up in the schoolyard with all the other kids, he never once broke character. He just struck a pose and held it, all hunched over and growly. An elementary school was next door to our house, but instead of sending him to it, we enrolled him at St. Mark's, a private Lutheran school about half a mile away. Of course you did.
Mm-hmm.
His birthday was November, so he was one of the youngest kids in his class, and he had done well in first grade and was looking forward to second. One of his teachers was Sue Hoffman, whose son Clifford was one of Adam's best friends. The two of them played t-ball and later Little League together. In fact, probably the only thing that Adam liked more than baseball was the water. We had a wetsuit, a surfboard, and even a dive knife, just like mine. When I was at work, Reve used to take him to the beach every day at the Diplomat. I wasn't working there anymore at that time, but everyone else was. John Monahan and Billy Maidman and Jimmy Campbell. They were all the pool attendants of cabana managers. Adam was learning how to surf, so he and Reve would go from one pool to another, visiting everybody on the rounds. We have pictures of Adam in a diaper at about 2 years old down in the Bahamas with me and Garfield on the docks with lobsters everywhere, and another of him around 6, in his mask and snorkeling, smiling, holding his dive knife in one hand and, by the antenna, a big lobster in the other. He was still little, but he was already learning about diving, how to poke at things with a knife instead of your fingers so that nothing can sting you. Once we had him, we couldn't imagine what things had been like before. It was as if everybody had been waiting for him to come along. It wasn't that we were overly protective or that we smothered him. It was just that if I don't remember him ever being in the way. If he wanted to go to the playground or for a ride for an ice cream, that's what we did. It was as if we were all kind of following him around. I think the hardest thing for me at the time was the traveling, having to leave Adam to go on business trips. In 1976, I left my job with the Bahamian Outlands Promotion Board and started a company called Diversified Marketing in partnership with a guy named Warren Binder. Binder was, I would say Binder, sorry, Warren Binder. Binder was trying to develop a little regional car company by the name of Alamo, and I was working to help market it. At the time, Delta Airlines was hooked up with Hertz, and we managed to move in on them, placing Alamo instead. It was an intense time, and Binder was a complete workaholic. I was pulling down 70 hours a week, under a lot of pressure, and it was beginning to take a toll. I traveled a lot and worked late hours. I hated being away from Adam. One night he said to me, Dad, what can I do so you don't have to go to work so hard? It was tough on him and tough on my marriage. Probably a lot tougher than I realized at the time. It wasn't so much that there was tension between Reve and me. It was more that after being married for 10 years, things between us were just kind of going along. Hey, Jesse. The brightest spot in my life was our little boy. I would read to him as soon as I got home from work and tell stories. That's how Bobby and Sparky came to be. Bobby with his trusty dog, Sparky with a little kid about Adam's age, a brave little boy who did the right thing. I always made Bobby just a little bit older than Adam so that he would have someone to look up to, someone who could face challenges. Not weird, dangerous ones that would terrorize him before he went to sleep, just kind of exciting ones. If a grandma in the park was being harassed or a timber wolf was trying to scare them in the woods, Bobby and his little dog would always face the challenge and stay calm and do the right thing. That was the lesson, no matter what happens. Use your brain because it's your best tool. Conserve your energy, use your strength, and do the right thing. Don't start screaming and running around hysterical because the biggest thing was that no matter how scary or where things got for Bobby and Sparky, their dad would show up just in time to rescue them.
That's kind of
My
sad.
future wife. Hey, for your truths.
He didn't seem like he cared too much about his wife. He didn't care about missing her. It seemed
Yeah.
like he missed Adam way more than he missed Reve.
Yeah, it's like as soon as he had Adam, his wife was nothing to him anymore, and he doesn't pay attention to her.
Exactly.
He doesn't
Like
talk
he
to
had a
her.
little
Nothing.
me. Typical
Yeah,
narcissist, you know.
yeah. No matter what happened, Dad would always be there to save them in the night. Adam was cautious by nature, not one of those loud kids. He was never deer in the headlights scared, just
Hi,
cautious,
Jesse.
reserved, even timid, but also very sure of himself when he had something on his mind. I'd almost been killed so many times from one thing or another. Of course,
Of course he is.
here we go, guys. Mm-mm.
Oh,
All right, so I'd almost been killed by so many times from one thing or another. I crashed a couple of times on my motorcycle. I got swept away in the ocean, and I got mugged. I had probably had 40, not two, 40 broken bones and all kinds of stitches in the
what?
emergency room. Holy.
40
But
broken bones?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
but each and every time I had gotten fixed up. I knew the rough side of life, but I thought I was immortal. I figured I'd die in a rocking chair when I was 85 years old. That's probably not the healthiest way to live, you think? But I loved dangerous sports and felt I was protected. Call it youthful invulnerability or whatever. I truly believe that I could not be killed, but that was just for myself. With Adam, things were different. When he was born, everything changed. I had a new fear, and it was now my greatest one. It was that something might happen to him. I was completely unprepared for that feeling. I had always felt as if nothing could touch me, and now I knew that it could. I always worried about him. Later on, someone said that he had been sheltered. What's that supposed to mean? He was 6 years old. We took him to school, picked him up every day. He wasn't allowed to go to the park by himself or to ride his bike on the street. We didn't even let him cross by himself. We always held his hand. And we taught him landmarks, the golf course, the grocery store, so that if he ever got lost, he could find his way home. He loved the water. He was always a water bug. But there was a lot of drainage canals in our neighborhood, and I worried about him falling into one. So I spent hours drown proofing him in the pool. I would dunk him in the water and then bring him up, sputtering. I taught him how to hold his breath, starting when he was just an infant, 9 or 10 months old. Holy, that's quick. Or early, I mean.
Well, when you live by water, you kind of have to do that. I did my kids that way too, so I can't really think about that. But I mean,
Yeah.
thinking though at 6, so that your kids are going to fall in a gutter drain, why would they be walking around at 6 alone?
Yeah, exactly.
Fall in a gutter drain or I mean, we had a pool. That's what I taught my kids, and
Yeah.
my their other grandparents lived at the lake, so it was like survival. They had to. We lived on the water, you
Yeah.
know. But like just because they might fall in a drainage ditch,
Yeah, that's it.
that's weird.
Okay. I had seen some strange things in my life, some violence when I was working as a cabana boy. There will always be people on the fringes of society who try to exploit other people. One good friend of ours knew a guy who had adopted several kids, boys, and used to show them porno films. Holy frig. Hey,
Mm.
Mama. Hey, Aunt Frida. Yeah, I'm reading, it's called Tears of Rage. It's John Walsh wrote it. It's about his son, Adam Walsh.
Hey Jesse.
And used to show them porno films. It was creepy and weird, and without ever being extremely conscious of it at the time, I think we were always trying to protect Adam, who lived across the street from a playground, but he never went over there alone. Either Reve would take him or I would after work. Reve drove him
Well,
to school every day. Hmm?
wait a minute. Back up again. Did he say somebody that lived by him showed porno films?
No, he says one good friend of ours knew a guy who had adopted several kids,
Hmm.
all boys, and used to show them porno films. I don't know
Oh,
why that was mentioned, but he's like, it was
that's
creepy
really
and weird.
weird. That's
Yeah,
grooming. That's weird.
that's creepy, that's weird, and without ever being extremely cautious of it at the time, I think we were always trying to protect it.
Hmm. That was like fitting in there for what? I mean, what reason was that put there? That's just weird.
Yeah, there's nothing at all around it. That is weird.
Okay.
Reve drove him to school every day. He wanted to walk, but he wasn't allowed to. Other people might let their kids run wild, but Adam wasn't like that. Reve and I had waited and waited to have him. He was only a little kid. He was our only child. It's not that Adam stayed locked up in the house or anything. He had friends like Jeremy who lived just a few doors down. Adam couldn't really pronounce his name. It would come out Jeremy. Reve would say, "No, Adam. Jeremy means yucky stuff. It's Jeremy." And Adam would say, "I know, Mom. That's why I'm saying Jeremy." We started out playing T-ball, and then the following year, Little League. It's funny, my dad had always loved baseball so much, and all his sons went into other sports like soccer, golf, and football. When he was very sick, I remember him saying, "The only regret I have is that I didn't get the baseball player out of the three of you." It always got to me that out of the whole family, Adam was the one who turned out to be the baseball player. It was just that my dad didn't live long enough to see it. I think the best thing of all was traveling with Adam. Even when he was a baby, every now and then I would pack up all his gear and take him on business trips. People used to freak out that I had a little kid in my hotel room with me all night. It wasn't really the kind of thing that working fathers did in those days. But when I look back on things, it's one of the things that I'm most glad I did. I'd been on a million been I had been a million places and done a million things, and it seemed that with Adam, I was going to teach him everything. He was like a little sponge. I had spent hours as a beach boy swimming out on a little sunfish with no sail. I would bring home big horse conch shells and sand dollars that I'd bleach. I couldn't wait for Adam to learn how to snorkel. I would tell him what all the plants and fish were that washed up on the beach. When he was still really little, I took him down to the Bluff House, a beautiful 36 room resort in the Bahamas owned by Les Davies, who became a good friend of ours. The Bluff House was all by itself on a small offshore island that I was marketing and sat right on top of the seventh largest barrier reef in the world. The water was crystal clear and beautiful, and that's where Adam first learned to snorkel. I would put a mask on him, float him in the water, and I leaned down in his ear. "That's a sea urchin right there," I would say, "and this is four-eyed butterfly fish. Here's a royal gourmet, and that over there is a tiny moray eel." I always say that the ocean is your best psychiatrist. No matter what's bothering you, if you go down and really study it, it will reveal to you the whole spectrum of life. It will put things in perspective and help you sort things out. Adam and I used to walk on the beach for hours looking for lucky sea beans and come up from Brazil. During storms, they make a long, incredible journey through the Gulf Stream into the waters of the north. And when you find them, you polish them, and they're supposed to bring you good luck. As a cabana boy, I would scour the beach really early in the morning and again at sunset. That's when you can find the best things. I had a huge collection of shells that I had found during dives, mostly underwater on coral reefs. Some I found it in that weird thura again, 100 feet down. Helmet shells and trumpet tritons, the ones they blow in Polynesia. 5 that I found in one year alone. One of my greatest joys in life was to walk with Adam along the beach and teach him all of it. Anything he showed him, he could learn. He would ask incredible, intricate marine biology questions, very scientific, even at 2.5. He was learning about the ocean. That's how old he was when he pointed to a beautiful belt buckle that Les Davies was wearing and said, "Dolphin." Then shook his head, made a tisk tisk sound like, "How could I have been so stupid?" and said, "I mean, porpoise." When Adam was a little older, Jeff and I took him diving with us. Reve would say, "Oh my God, you're going out there sparing everything in sight and you're going to take him with you?" I said, "We're not going to spear anything. We're going to take him over by a rock and maybe show him a nurse shark. Pull a little one out by the tail." I couldn't wait until he was old enough to use a tank, which you could do when you were about 8 or 9 years old. Until then, we would snorkel. I always held his hand in the beginning, and then he started to learn to swim by himself. We would be out there in the boat with the beautiful sunset in the water. Jeff loved Adam and was always so gentle with him. He was a big, tough, patient guy. We'd be sitting around having dinner or a drink, and other people would come by with their kids screaming and yelling. Adam would sit there, wait until people had finished talking, and then ask whatever it was that he wanted to know. This is not an exaggeration. He would go into a restaurant and order escargot for an appetizer. Seriously?
A kid?
Yeah, I highly doubt that.
Some of this is sounding kind of weird.
Yeah, it just screams bullshit to me.
That's so weird too to take a little small kid 6 years old or under on
Yeah,
these business trips, like to other islands and stuff. And like,
yeah,
who's watching them? You know, like what?
yeah,
And why isn't Reve going? There's no other children. Why couldn't she go with him? That's
yeah.
weird.
I don't understand that. She doesn't have any other children, and I
No,
don't
no,
recall her working at all either. I could be wrong.
no. That's just weird.
During a trip to the islands in the spring of 1981, we spent the afternoon on the beach, and Adam made friends with the little Bahamian boy. The little boy, like everybody on the island, didn't have much in the way of material things. He'd come. I don't know why he's got to point this shit out. Like the little boy, like everybody on the island, didn't have much in the way of material things. So what?
They don't, but they're the great. They're so nice. I've been to the
Yeah.
Bahamas several times. I love it there. Oh, I mean, wow.
He had come by trying to make a little money selling trinkets to the tourists. Then he spotted Adam with all his trucks and toys, and the two of them started playing together. I wasn't really paying much attention until later when the little boy started heading for home. As he was leaving, I saw that he was hauling away all of Adam's toys. That didn't faze Adam at all. "I had to give him my things, Dad." He said he doesn't have any toys. By that time, I had left Warren Binder and had taken a partnership position with the Hotel Management Associates, a Houston based company that managed the Houston Grand. Then I was approached by a group of investors who were developing a new project on Paradise Island in the Bahamas called the Paradise Grand. It was going to be a $26 million resort hotel, and I eventually became its vice president and director of marketing. I had a beautiful office in the harbor house right on the waterway in the Ball Harbor, which was our base of operations in Florida. My brother Joe was working for me, and John Monahan, who was a consultant to the project, in his office just across the hall. I would take Adam to work with me, and I set up a little desk for him in my office so that he could come in and pretend. He had a list of things to do for the day and would buzz me around his desk. Whenever he called me from home, he would ask my secretary for Mr. John Walsh,
That's funny.
not Daddy, as she would play
Right.
along. That's cute.
That is cute.
The new job meant that I was no longer working 7-day weeks, 52 weeks a year. I was spending a lot more time at home, and it was making a difference in the way things were with Reve. I didn't want to be like those couples who've been married 48 years, only it's really 24 because the guy wasn't home for half of it. I was feeling as if we were all a family together. For me, the first time in my life, I was beginning to feel a little bit peaceful, as if things were really working out. Reve and I celebrated our 10th wedding anniversary on July 10th, 1981. I gave her an antique diamond ring, and we decided it was time to make a brother or sister for Adam. But a week or so later, Les Davies came by the house to drop off some tour operator packages that I was going to submit. I was home from work, sick as a dog, and hadn't shaved in days. I looked like Shapiko when I came to the door. I invited Les in, and we started
Yeah.
talking. I told him about how the week before Monahan had set it up for Reve and me to go to St. John Island, a really nice resort in Florida coast. It was Monahan's 10th anniversary present to us, and we took Adam along. We pretty much decided to wait until he was all set in school before having another baby. And now we were so happy that we had decided we weren't going to wait anymore. We have home movies of one of the trips that we took to the Bahamas with Adam. I don't remember which. Of him with all his coloring books there in the outlands. Garfield and all my friends down there loved him. This little blonde boy. He was so different from what they knew. I don't know how many islands we went to on that trip. 6 or 7. Maybe we flew on little puddle jumpers. One afternoon, we were all out on a gorgeous sailboat together. We had been driving all day, and the sun was starting to set. I still have a vivid memory of being at the ship's wheel that day, sitting with my little boy in my lap, steering that big, beautiful boat on a calm, lulling sea. All right, now we're at, I thought that was going to be horrible, but it wasn't. Okay, now we're on chapter 4, and this one's called Sears. So I'm assuming this is like, yeah. Okay. When I got up around 7 o'clock in the morning of Monday, July 27th, 1981, Adam was still sleeping. Jimmy Campbell had taken him out to a movie the night before, and I was angry that Jimmy had kept him out so late, even if it was summer vacation. I had kissed Adam goodnight and put him to bed. If I hadn't been so late, I would have read him a story. Just a few days before, he had spent the night at Clifford Hoffman's house, his first official sleepover away from home. Graham said that he was just getting to the age where he was curious about what I was like as a little boy, what I did, how I acted, and where I went. That morning over breakfast, I skimmed the paper. Bill Casey, the CIA director, was trying to keep from getting fired. An 80-year-old Dade County woman had been found slashed to death. There was a science story on how surgery was being performed on babies before they were born. Medflies were threatening to take over California. And England was getting ready for the wedding that week of Prince Charles and Lady Di. The weather was typical Florida in July. Highs in the 90s, maybe rain, a scorcher. Adam would always cry whenever I was leaving on a trip without him, but that wasn't going to happen today. Tonight I would be home with him, maybe too late for dinner, but in plenty of time to play with him before bed. Without waking him, I gave him a kiss goodbye. A couple of hours after I left, Jimmy Campbell stopped by for a cup of coffee. I appreciated the way he spent so much time with Adam and helped out around the house when I was gone. But lately things have been getting on my nerves. Told Hervé that I wanted my privacy and needed more one-on-one time with just my family. It was time for Jimmy to stop hanging around our place so much. Time for him to get a start getting on with his own life.
Yeah, why was Jimmy hanging around so much?
I'm thinking affair.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe that,
Yeah.
There was some discrepancy on why Hervé left Adam so long at the Sears, according to even Megan. Like, she was really she left in there 90 minutes, not the couple minutes she said.
Yeah.
So, that's weird.
Hervé had cleaned out the room that Jimmy slept in. What? He slept there? What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a pool ball. He's the pool guy that she was having an affair with. That's for real. That's true.
Figured. It sure sounds like it.
Yeah, he's the pool guy.
Oh my God. So she cleaned out the room that Jimmy slept in when he stayed over and put some of Adam's things in it instead. Later, Jimmy said that the last thing he remembered about leaving the house that morning was the sight of Adam lying on the couch, being cuddled by his mother. Hervé had turned 30 just 3 days before and was planning to getting her driver's license renewed. But she would have to do another errand first. For the past month or so, we have been talking about getting a pair of brass barrel lamps for the living room and had just seen an ad saying they were on sale at Sears. I was bugging her to run over and get them. And when I called the house at around 10 o'clock that morning, she said she would do it, but it meant that she was going to be rushed. She was planning on taking a check for Adam's tuition over to St. Mark's, then dropping him off at Graham's before she made her 1 o'clock workout appointment at the gym. While she made the beds and was cleaning up after breakfast, Adam sat in the den with an orange popsicle watching Sesame Street. She gave him his clothes for the day, green running shorts and a short-sleeved Izod shirt. He put them on, and then his favorite hat, one hat I picked out and given him. It was an off-white captain's hat that was still way too big for him. He loved to wear it, pulled all the way down over his ears. When they left the house a little after 11, Hervé noticed that instead of wearing the shoes she had told him to, his sneakers, Adam had slipped on the yellow flip-flops that we called his slaps.
His what?
His slaps.
Slaps? Oh, that makes sense. I mean,
that's cute.
It's cute. That's what they sound like. Slap, slap.
Oh my God. Yeah, actually, yeah.
I used to get spanked by my flip-flops when I was little sometimes.
Yeah, get my slaps.
Yeah, right.
Talk to my son, be like, hey, Leland, you want to get my slaps for me, please?
Right, exactly.
He's like, what? Shit. Where did I end up? All right, since I wasn't actually there, it was probably best that Reve and Graham tell about what happened next. This is what Reve remembers. Okay, so I'm assuming this
Yeah.
is going to be a trigger warning, guys. This is the part where I'm assuming he goes missing because right now they're at Sears.
Yep. This is gonna get probably so bad.
Motherfucker. Sorry, I just got a message. I know I got a message and I'm not happy.
Oh no.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud, but I got the message, Teresa. I'm not fucking happy. I wish I could say something, but I'm not like that. I don't bash people, so I'm good, except for KJ. But no, I don't usually talk about people. I never will. Nope, not gonna happen. All right, so here we go. The first thing we did was to swing by St. Mark's. I took Adam with me into the school office where a lady was sitting at a desk talking on the phone. It didn't look like she was going to be hanging up anytime soon. So after a few minutes of waiting, I laid the tuition check on her desk, turned around, and left. After that, we drove her over to the mall, which is about a mile away. I parked where I always did, on the north side, near the receiving dock. I held Adam's hand as usual while we walked across the parking lot to the entrance. We went into the store, the same as always, past receiving and the catalog desk on the left. That put us in the middle of the toy department. Beyond it, way over on the right, was the garden section where all the pesticides and poisons were kept on the shelves. It always made me mad that they would keep those chemicals right next to the toys. Great, I said to myself whenever I passed it. Right in the middle of the toy department was the big attraction, a television monitor displaying computer video games. Still a big novelty factor. They were brand new back then. I don't remember what the game was. Maybe Star Wars or Pong. All I remember is that I was in a hurry, and the lamp department was on the other side of the toys, just around the corner at the end of the aisle to the left. From the video game to the main counter in the lamp department was about 75 feet. End of the line of sight, but not very far. It was summer vacation and kids used to go back and forth between the mall and the park next door. Some of them were standing at the game, playing with the joystick, and Adam asked if he could stay and play too. That was our ritual. Going in the north door by receiving, and Adam begging me to let him play the video game. I pointed to where I was going to be. Okay, I'm going to be going to the lamp department for a minute, right over there. You stay here, and I'll be right over there. I don't think I specifically said don't go anywhere, because I never had to. Adam didn't wander off. He didn't go anywhere. He just wanted to stay with the other kids and play that damn game. When I got back, we would go get him an ice cream. I'm going to be right over there in the lamp department, Adam. And he said, okay, Mommy, I know where that is. I went into lamps and asked the sales lady if she could get the brass barrel ones for me because I couldn't find them anywhere on the floor. Then I waited while she went into the back. There may have been one other woman in the department, but I didn't speak to her. Finally, the sales lady came back out and told me they didn't have the lamps in stock. They would have to be ordered, but I didn't have time. I left my name and asked to have someone call me when the lamps came in. That was it. I was going to pick up Adam at the video game and swing back out the way we had come in. I was gone a few minutes, 5, maybe 10 altogether.
You're right.
Yeah. But when I came around the corner, I didn't see Adam. At first, I thought that maybe he had walked over to one of the other aisles. I called out his name, but he didn't answer. Then I started getting a strange feeling, something odd, almost eerie. It wasn't just that I didn't see Adam. It was that it seemed as if everyone had suddenly gone away. Just a minute ago, there had been a bunch of kids around, joystick. Now, even the video game wasn't making any noise. Everything seemed so suddenly silent. The first thought in my head was, hey, where'd everybody go? I went up and down the aisles. It wasn't a big department, but I couldn't find Adam. And then I noticed a little boy with dark hair wearing a captain's hat, a less expensive-looking knockoff version of the one Adam had. Holy frig!
Oh my gosh, they're the same.
Oh my god, they're the exact same conceited bricks. Wow.
Mm.
I went up to him and said, did you see a little boy wearing a hat like yours? I'm surprised you didn't say, yeah, wearing a hat like yours, but more expensive and not knockoff.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Right. Yeah, it cost $159.99.
Yeah. That's so friggin' rude.
I know.
He nodded, and I thought to myself, woof, okay, so where is he? But the little boy didn't say anything. He just pointed at the door. Not the north door that we always went in and out of, but the west door over to the far side of the toys. It was then that I realized that he must be Spanish, or at least that he didn't understand English very well. Because it was ridiculous to think that Adam would have gone out the west door, we never did that. I even didn't bother to ask the little boy anything else, where Adam was, or why everyone had gone. There was no reason to. This little kid was probably just trying to be polite to a grown up. Just assumed that he didn't understand what I said. Went back into toys and found a clerk. Have you seen my son? He was just here a minute ago. She said that he hadn't. She said that she hadn't. So I started asking people, anyone I could find, but they all said the same thing. Oh, well, he probably just wandered off. I'll bet he went looking for you. He could be in the mall. He might be right there. He might be over there. Have you tried over that way? I kept saying, you don't understand. My son is a little boy who does not wander off. All the while, a horrible cold fear was building. I knew something was wrong, really wrong. I was absolutely convinced of it. But no one seemed to understand or believe me. Oh, well, you know how kids are. Maybe he wandered off with the rest of the kids. He's got to be around here someplace. I kept saying, no, my son wouldn't do that. You don't understand. Something is wrong here, but I'm not exactly sure what. Cash register just kept ringing up sales. Clerks kept waiting on people as if nothing had happened. I was trying to think of the words to make them see that something was really out of whack, that something was going on that just wasn't right. I couldn't just go up to the counter and say, I have a missing child, because in those days, there was no such thing. There was no such thing as a missing child?
I think there were.
Yeah, that doesn't
No,
make sense.
there wasn't any alert systems or anything,
Yeah, but there's such a thing as a missing child. That's weird.
right. Kids went missing still.
Yeah. Um, no one paid any attention to me. They were acting like I didn't exist. Invisible. Just some woman who had lost track of her kid. But he would come wandering back and it would all be okay. She just didn't know what she was talking about. But it wasn't okay, that much I knew. Finally, they told me I could go to the service office and have him paged, but I couldn't do that because it would mean leaving this spot. If I went to the customer service, he might come back and not see me. I had to stay right there in case he came back. He was just a little boy. I don't know. I would have. Obviously, she just told these people, the clerks or whatever, that her son's missing. I would describe what he looked like, say, okay, I'm going on in there, intercom and calling him.
Exactly. I would have grabbed it myself and done it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even ask. I just would have went.
Right. Just done it. Well, first of all, I would have not left my 6-year-old alone. I'm not trying to judge her. And I know I grew up during that time. I know it was a little bit different than it is
It was
now,
different, yeah.
But still, 6 is awful young, and she did leave him a lot longer. So that's proven. I mean, that's been proven since then. That the store clerk made the boys leave, all of them that were there playing, because they were kind of getting rowdy, and they had been gone for a good while by the time she started looking for Adam when she came and asked about that.
Yeah.
And all the boys left together out the same door, and they were older, and they probably just didn't pay attention. They went on their own way. But to me, that was misleading, and they should not have. They should have been truthful about that. You know what I'm saying? Like how long he was really there, and because that could have put a whole nother trajectory on them looking for him.
Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't okay, that much I knew. Finally, they told me I could go to the service office. Oh, wait, sorry. He was just a little boy. The only thing they kept saying was, I'm sorry. I don't know if 15 minutes went by or 15 seconds, but nobody found him. I was standing in the middle of the store by myself, trying to figure out what to do, sweeping the place with my eyes every corner. Then, as I was looking out past the garden shop, I saw all of the people. Oh, sorry. I saw, of all people, Graham. Thank God. Oh, thank God. Adam's with Graham. I ran out to the sidewalk. Graham, have you seen Adam? She looked surprised. No. Isn't he with you? Graham, I can't find him anywhere. He was right here with me, and now I can't find him. We started going through the whole mall, all the stores. I ran up and down. If she was going to, okay, whoa. If she was going to go out and get Graham and leave that spot, then why did she go on the intercom?
Right.
This doesn't even fucking make sense.
No, I would have grabbed that intercom immediately, because I'd been like, y'all lock the doors. My kid's lost in here.
Yeah.
I mean,
that doesn't even make sense. No, don't be sorry, Teresa. Absolutely. That has nothing to do with you, honey.
Amen, Brittany. Talk about an ego. I mean, these people are like egomaniacs, and I thought it was just John, but no, obviously not.
Yeah, me too. It's her as well. So we started going through the mall, all the stores. I ran up and down into every shop, every place as fast as I could. All of a sudden, though, I stopped. He would never come out here all by himself. I thought, he's not out here in this mall, and I know it. I could feel the panic growing, and I was fighting it. I had to stay in control. No one was listening to me, and no one was doing anything. But Adam was gone, and I couldn't find him. I kept telling myself, don't get hysterical because you've got to stay calm. Nobody else is doing anything, so it's all up to you. Screaming is only going to make them go, oh boy, she's nuts. Take it easy, lady. He just wandered off. Now, hon, don't worry. Kids always come back. I'm sure they meant well, of course. They didn't know, but after a while, I started hearing the things they were saying under their breath. Well, there was a guy who used to work in the auto department. Come to think
Mm.
of it, he was kind of strange. I was wearing a leotard, gym shorts, sneakers, and socks. Obviously, the wrong thing to have been wearing that day. Too revealing, not demure. What the fuck does that do anything?
Yeah, what is that?
I should
Talking
have been
about
wearing something conservative, a nice dress, some
what?
something that, had I worn it, might have made them listen. Oh my god, a missing kid's a
I,
missing kid.
exactly. I don't think that matters.
Oh. Yeah, I don't like these people. I don't. I got a bad feeling.
Well, no wonder Megan talks like she does about him. Like the last time she went to Thanksgiving, she said her mama put her in a headlock.
I wouldn't doubt it, honestly. Seriously,
Yeah.
like these, like just reading this from, where's the date on this damn thing? So this book came out in it came out in 1998. That's when this
Well,
book came.
they had a
Yeah.
long time
Oh,
to put
sorry.
that together.
Sorry, it was 1997. It was originally published in hardcover in 1997. Yeah.
Just a long time
So,
later.
yeah, that's a long time later. And this is how they were then. I can just imagine they only increased in assholeness now.
Now that they have all that money.
Yeah, exactly. Like they sound like they think their shit don't stink. They're better than everybody. They're the richest people in the world. And they're just so smug and conceited. I do not like these people.
Yes, in fact, Megan said that her father runs that town.
Yeah, I believe it. Because he's John Walsh. He used to
Right.
do the America's Most Wanted. Now he's got his other show, Catching Other Freaks. Like,
Bless her heart. That's what she kept saying. Oh, God forbid that the John Walsh, Almighty John Walsh, is wrong
yep.
about something.
Yeah, I agree with her. I really do. Like now that I'm reading this book, and I'm only 4 chapters in, and I already don't like them. I don't know. There's something's off. I don't
Yeah,
like this.
something's way off. But
Yeah,
all these weird business trips with kids and letting weird people take the
yeah,
kids by themselves to movies. Who does that? Like they're and they say, oh well, we weren't like helicopter. They were saying they were overprotective parents.
yeah. They were
Who would
helicopter parents. I
who
mean,
would think that when you let your children go off with random people and they just love your child and they love to take turns with, like with what? Like you
yeah,
don't let your children go off with people like that. That is weird.
it is.
And none of them had children of their own. Even it'd be weird
Yeah,
if they were. I mean, it wouldn't be weird if they had kids and they were, spending the night as friends. But
yeah.
why do single people want to take somebody's kid off by
Doesn't make
themselves? Like
sense.
that's just weird to me.
It would be weird to me too.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't like it though.
I think she wrote chapters. This is all in different handwriting, and it looks like it's her writing because when I started reading it, it says here, Reve and Grant. He says, okay, so before I started reading this part, it says, since I wasn't actually there, it's probably best that Reve and Graham tell you about what happened next. This is what Reve remembers. So it's written in her hand.
Oh, about Sears because that was
Yes.
her
Yeah.
testimony of what happened from her point of
Yeah.
view.
Listen to this. His son Callahan has that smug attitude too. Wow. John's son Callahan.
Hmm. And if you notice, I'm going to bring this up now that
Yeah.
we hear some of the things he's saying. On America's Most Wanted, I've watched that for years,
Me too.
as I'm sure you
I
have.
loved him. I love John Walsh.
Now think about it though. Think about how many cases have they brought forward really that have brown or black skinned people in them?
I have no idea, actually. I don't
Not many. Honestly, I can
recall,
look
to
back
be honest.
and it does seem like mostly upper
White
white,
people.
middle class. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying because I don't remember any, and it's weird too because all the criminals are usually always black or Mexican or
Right. They make them the bad guys,
yeah.
I
That
don't
I
know.
didn't even think of that, but yeah, you're right.
And you see how he talks about people like he feels that are less than him, you know, through poverty or whatever reason. And that's weird because Megan said, her last child is biracial, and she said that John, when her mom wouldn't take that last child because she feels like it's because that she was biracial.
Yeah.
And she would rather have taken that child and put it in the system. They did that. They said they would rather their 5-day-old grandchild be taken and put into the foster care system, which is horrible, which he admitted in his own thing itself. And like, isn't that sick? Who
It
would
is
do
sick.
that?
It is very sick. And this book, Teresa, that's the thing. So Teresa says this book really puts him in a bad light. And I agree. You know what though, Teresa? This
It
book
tells
is
the
written
truth.
by him. It's written by
Hmm.
him. It's his, he helped write this book, everything. Yeah, and like listen to this. So right on the front cover of it, it says, "From grieving father to crusader for justice: the untold story of the Adam Walsh case." I don't friggin' like this guy. I don't like his wife. I think that they're very stuck up individuals. They think they're better than everybody, and I'm sensing a lot of lies in this statement here.
Me too. I'm gonna say a old saying from my grandmother. This story makes me so mad. It makes my ass want to burn so
Yeah,
good because
I
I
agree.
mean I see through so much
Yep.
BS.
I have you as a mod, don't I? I can't remember. Did I make you a mod too?
Gosh, yeah.
I thought so. Okay, just want to make sure.
I
I
don't know
think
how to
it.
do anything about it. I don't know how to do anything
No,
with
I
it,
just want to.
but I am.
Yes, Anne Sprita, this is a true story. I don't know if have you ever watched the show America's Most Wanted? The host for that show, his name was John Walsh, and his son actually. The reason why he started that show, is because his son actually was kidnapped and murdered. The only
Supposedly,
remains was that was
allegedly.
allegedly, and the only remains was found was his head. Unfortunately, yeah, making money off that poor child. I know. Oh, I don't even know if I can read. Okay, I'll read the rest of this. All right, we're still in her handwriting. You've heard of it? Okay. Then I realized that at the bottom of my purse was my wallet, and in it, a picture of Adam from his first grade class, wearing the same shirt that he had on that day. Seriously? A short
Just
sleeve,
happened to be there.
yeah, and red and white stripes. Oh my God, the picture. So he's wearing the same thing as this. That's a little weird.
Yeah, that is.
Um, Oh my God, the picture. Here, this is his picture. He got on the same shirt. See? A typical school picture. It didn't even look like him. But I had the shirt, red and white stripes, with tiny bands of Kelly green. There, take a look. Someone must have Kelly green. What the hell color is Kelly green?
That is a kind of a greenish, grasshopperish looking color that people say in the United States. I think is probably just a color.
Okay. I'm just like, you have to be that distinct about the color too, you little fashionista. Like, who
Right.
green?
Like, who cares what type of green? Kelly green, emerald green, who gives a shit?
Right? Oh my God. It's Kelly Green. Alrighty then. Wow.
Oh,
Someone must have seen him. Sorry, haven't seen him. Nope, not here. Half hour had gone by, maybe more. I don't know. And you still didn't call the police? Holy shit. Finally, I got
man.
somebody to go over and page him. Now she's got him paged half an hour
Like,
later.
how long is 30 minutes has gone by now.
Yeah, now yeah. So half an hour gone by, maybe more, I don't know. Finally, I got somebody to go over and page him on the Intercom. I made the request and ran back into the store to listen. An announcement that would say, "Wait, everybody stand still for a minute. Just stop what you're doing and look around. There's a little boy who's lost in the store. His name is Adam. He's 6 years old and 3.5 feet tall. He weighs 45 pounds and he's wearing a captain's hat, a nice one, not a cheap knockoff version." Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, and they said that on the intercom?
Yes!
No way.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That
Wow.
is wow. I
That's
can't
on
even.
another level.
That is. That is. Holy shit.
And they should have done this like within like the first 5 seconds they
Yeah.
realized that that kid was missing. Because if they would have shut the doors and locked them, then nobody could have gotten out with the child.
Yeah. I would have been like, if I was there at that time, I would have been so concerned about that child. But when I saw her, I'd look at her and be like, "You're a snooty bitch."
Right. I'd have looked for that kid and then I'd have slapped her after I
Yeah.
found
Like,
him.
who cares about the Kelly green color and your more expensive hat?
How much it costs.
That is
I mean,
bullshit.
especially when your kid's missing, who's thinking about how much what he's wearing costs?
I can't believe this shit. He's 6 years old, 3.5 feet tall. He weighs 45 pounds. He's wearing a captain's hat, a nice one, not a knockoff version. He's probably standing right next to you. Adam, come back to the toy department. Your mom's there and she's looking for you. She's worried. but you don't need to be scared. Instead, a blaring voice full of static boomed out over the intercom. Adam Walsh, please come to customer. Oh, that's what she wanted him to say. Thank God. I was going to say, if you said that, but instead, what actually came over the intercom was instead of a blaring voice full of static boomed out over the intercom and said, Adam Walsh, please come to customer service. Not if she had to add the freaking knockoff. Oh my God, she is retarded.
Oh, so that was in her head. What
that was in her head.
Okay. Okay.
So all they did say was, Adam Walsh, please come to customer service. Come to customer service? How was he supposed to know where that was or how to get there? That was how much they were prepared for what was happening. That was how much immediate concern they were showing that my little boy was suddenly gone. And I knew that something was terribly wrong here. That was their response.
Like
that was the help they gave.
6-year-old child by itself.
Yeah.
So blaming the people there.
Exactly. I went back to the toy department and I looked everywhere, through all the aisles again. There weren't very many people around. There were hardly any. He wasn't lost in a crowd. There weren't all kinds of mothers and shopping carts and mobs of people. There was just maybe one person here or there. I went up to anyone I saw. I'm looking for my little boy. You must have seen him. Sorry. So I went to receiving, to the clerk and the intercom and told them to page him again. Fucking call the police. What is wrong with this woman?
Like immediately call the police. You know, back then, I know they didn't have cell phones, but, you know, whenever you go pay for something at the mall, there was a phone right there beside every cash register.
Yeah, like
all over the place, like 20 inside a belt or, you know, 20 inside a Sears, whatever department you're in had a whole different phone and cash register.
So now what? I'm assuming we're going on an hour? This is ridiculous.
And no cops, right?
Yeah. So she says, I went to receiving, to the clerk with the intercom and told them to page him again. Do it again and do it the right way this time. I was not hysterical, but I was not going to put up with this. 20 minutes after the first page, there was the second, Adam Walsh, please meet your mother in the toy department. Nothing. How long exactly do you keep standing there like an idiot saying, my son's missing, he's not here? I don't know. Maybe call the fucking cops?
Exactly.
Graham and I have been looking for almost 2 hours. 2 hours? Wow. Hell no. That was over my dead body.
Like, as she's already said, he didn't wander away. Okay. Exactly. If you know your child doesn't wander away, then if he's not there, you call the cops and get on that thing and lock the doors, like immediately.
Exactly. Now there's going to be a lot of I, me. Wow.
Oh, of course.
By now, the whole store was aware that I was crying and I couldn't help it. I was so scared. We looked everywhere, in the store and the mall. I had to run out to the parking lot. I had to check the car. I had to check it twice. I had asked everyone in sight if they had seen my little boy. I had him paged over the loudspeaker and he hadn't come back. By now, it was pretty obvious that we needed some help. Finally, I don't know who, but someone called the police.
We should count
That's a lot of I, me.
Oh, right.
Holy crap. So now she's blaming everyone else for not calling the police. She's like, finally now, after 2 hours, people call the police. Someone called the police.
And it's somebody else's fault, not her own.
Yeah, exactly, P. She didn't even call her husband. What the hell?
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Well, and what I would think that would be the first person she would call, considering how many people's lives he saved and how many people he's rescued one-handedly. I mean, single-handedly, he's just a one-man Superman. So, according to the other chapters, why wouldn't she call him first?
Right. The Hollywood Police Department was right across the street from the mall. Wow.
What?
Wow.
Okay, wow. Okay,
yeah,
so
that's a huge wow.
And you wait 2 hours to call them. They would have been over there in a split second. If you would have called when it first happened.
Yeah. Just across Hollywood Boulevard, no more than a few hundred yards away. We could see it from where we were standing in the parking lot. The whole police force didn't come. There were no sirens. Only a couple of squad cars slowly pulled in. Wow. Self-righteous much.
And she's going to blame them for how slow they got there, but she waited 2 hours to call them.
Yeah.
I bet they showed up for 2 hours. It's almost unbelievable they wrote it like this.
Yeah, with him and
That shows you they really don't think this is bad behavior or there's anything wrong with it. That you know what I mean? Like,
um so they asked me a question about Adam and said they would run a bolo, so be on the lookout for him. They told me it meant be on the lookout for him. Okay, well I knew what that meant. I didn't know she was gonna say that. Be on the lookout for a little boy who was lost. I heard that, but it was almost as if I had cotton in my ears. Things were distorted. I couldn't hear what people were saying to me. The wheels were turning so fast in my head. There was nothing going on anywhere around me. Everything was happening inside my brain. The cops were standing there with their hands on their hips. Crackling noises came over their radios. Them shaking their heads, trying to think what to do, trying above all not to make eye contact with me. It seemed like they were trying to get out of doing anything. There was apparently nothing in the back, no page in the manual for what to do in this emergency. What to do if a little boy went missing? I kept saying, well, what do you do in a case like this? They said, well, we only handle runaways. But he isn't a runaway. Well, maybe he ran away. What they wanted was to pacify me. Everyone just wanted me to go away. Maybe they all had plenty of kids who had been separated from their parents and had always turned out fine. I don't know. All I knew was that this was not turning out fine. They kept saying maybe he walked home. I said he doesn't know how to walk home from here. I'm his mother and we live more than a mile away. Believe me, my son would not walk home from here. Even every now and then, if some cops were driving by, they would pull in, check things out, and then go off their routes again. They had to put the word out over their radios. They were looking supposedly while they were driving around. I called Clifford Hoffman's house to see if Adam was there, but he wasn't, and I knew that.
I would like to call that that would be contradictory what they had said previously about how smart Adam was, and at 2.5 he was asking biology questions and all this kind of stuff. But they only lived a mile away from Sears, but he didn't know his way there. I find that hard to believe because my
Yeah,
grandson with autism knows the way 5 miles from our house to church, and if we don't take every right turn to go straight to church when he wants to go, he pitches a fit. And I mean, like 4 years old. So I don't believe that. I
yeah.
mean, no, he can't be that smart at 2.5 to ask biology questions that were so far above his wisdom of years, and but he doesn't know his way home a mile away. I don't believe that.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
Um, I felt like no one was doing anything. There was no game plan. So I went outside and looked in the dumpsters. What?
I know.
Whoa, what? There was no game plan, so I went outside and looked in the dumpsters?
Yeah,
Why the hell would you go outside and look in the fucking dumpsters?
that's a weird thought process. Like the first thing think of.
No, it wasn't even a thought. She did it. She looked in the dumpsters.
That's weird.
That, wow.
How? I mean, unless somebody would have thrown him in there, he couldn't have gotten there. Still, he was little.
Like 2 hours later, why? I don't know. I'm just thinking, why would you think? Do you already think the possibility that he was, kidnapped and murdered or something?
And thrown in the dumpster right at Sears. I don't think they'd have done it right there.
That's what I'm thinking her line of thinking is. Like, what the
That's
hell?
weird. Like
That
I don't
is
think
weird. And
they
that's
would.
why I think when you were saying that Megan was saying that, that they had actually something to do with the disappearance, that's what makes me think why she said that.
Right. There's a lot of
She
and
fucked
when
up.
she started looking into this and like seeing the inconsistencies and asking her parents, that's when they started this with her and sent her off to be reprogrammed at the Passages of Malibu and started taking her kids because she started checking into this with Adam, and they told her to stay out of
Yeah,
that.
it's not right.
Mm-mm.
I walked all around the outside of the mall and looked into every car in the parking lot. Then I spotted a man who was loading things into a camper, bags of groceries, camping supplies. I started screaming that he must have taken my son, but it turned out that he was just some guy going on a camping trip. At that point, I was grasping at straws. I would try any suggestion at all now. Anything, because by now everything was already so far from reality and nothing made sense. It was like a bad dream, one where you can't get there from here. It was like drowning in a pool and not being able to reach the ledge. I was trying to reach my child, but he couldn't hear me. I felt so helpless. My body was trying to process everything to hang on, but I was like it was like the life was being sucked right out of me. Again, a lot of me, hi, hi, hi.
Right.
I mean,
Not what is my child going through? Where could my child be? What could possibly be going on? That's all I would be thinking about. Like, who could have my child and what could they be doing to them?
yeah,
Mhm. It's kind of like even this is all about them. You know,
yeah.
they,
Okay, sorry, what am I off? Oh, I kept thinking that everything around me was moving so fast. The air, the traffic, the people walking. If I could just get everyone and everything to slow down for a minute, then I could get my bearings and I could get a hold of everything and then I could reach out and pull
mm,
Adam back. It was like one of those horror movies where out of the blackness, the sordid laughing faces came bubbling up. Everything was spinning and I wanted it to stop. I wanted it to stop for a second until I could figure it out. Holy
that's
shit.
that's three eyes right there within the last sentence.
Yeah, that's
Three
ridiculous.
sentences.
But it never quite stopped long enough. The clock refused to stop ticking, and I needed it to, just for a second, because I could catch what was being said just for
Wow.
a time. Then I might be able to finally comprehend it. Except, no matter what I did, I couldn't seem to stop time. The voices kept coming at me. Oh, he hasn't shown up yet? You haven't found your kid? Hey, lady, you mean he's still not here? People tried to help, at least for a moment, on their way out the door. People who had come in earlier spent an hour or two finishing their shopping and were heading for home. It began to dawn on me that time was passing, that people were leaving, but that I was still here. So my mind just began to turn all of the voices around. Now on the way out the door, they were saying, "Oh, I see that you finally gotten your son back. Hey, that's great that you found him. Gee, lady, it's nice to see you with your little boy." I don't remember exactly when it was that John got there. I think it must have been about 3 o'clock. I didn't know I had finally called him, or if someone else did. What I do remember was that at some point a girl came up to me in the store. She wasn't wearing a uniform, but she seemed to be a security guard. She was young, maybe 17, and she was upset. "Gee, Mrs. Walsh, I just don't know if that was your son or not. I don't know if he was one of the ones I put out of the store." It was as if she was trying to apologize for something. I had no idea what she was talking about. I'm gonna quickly go to the phone booth.
I
Yeah,
think
I gotta go to the potty real bad. I had a lot of water.
I think I'm going to be right behind you.
All right, here, I'll put it on mute. We'll be right back in a minute, guys. Well, I'll put some music on.
Hey, Deb. I don't know if she can hear me, But Patricia, you're right. That does remind me of KJ, the way of thinking.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry about that. Oops. Let go.
I'm glad you took a phone booth
Oh,
break.
I
I
definitely
was
needed one.
about to burst.
Yeah, me too. Oh, anytime. Just be like, yeah, break time.
I took a fluid pill earlier, so it's like,
So it's like I'm on hold with customer service. Hey, Deb. Oh no, don't be sorry.
I need a catheter.
Yeah, really, right?
No, that's probably. I hate this. I don't want to say that, but that might be what create the other creators that stay on for like 12 and 13 hours. That might be their secret, along
Yeah,
with their other diaper needs.
the diaper thing. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking too. Okay. Graham says that she was the one who called me at the office, but the way I remember it is that Reve called me from a payphone. All right, now we're back to John.
Oh no.
People remember things in different ways. This is what my mother says about that day. Okay, now we got the mother's point of view.
We hadn't heard anything about her yet, have we?
No.
Not much.
I had been out and it was a boiling hot day. I stopped at the Hollywood Mall, which they called the Sears Mall because that was its anchor store. It had a big Publix grocery store too, where I ordinarily shopped. I pulled into the mall parking lot back behind Sears, and for some reason, I sat in my car for a few minutes before getting out. I don't remember exactly what I was doing. I think I had the paper with me and spent a few minutes glancing at it before I got out of the car. Yeah, Deb, you're gonna go later to vent. I'll probably. Ugh,
I
I'll
don't
try.
blame her.
Yeah, I'll join. Yeah, I'll join you later. I need to vent actually. Yeah. Forget.
Oh, that one call you got, that one text.
Oh fuck, I'm pissed. Oh, I'm hurt. Pissed. Yeah, I don't like it when friends turn on people. It's just sick. I
Oh,
wouldn't
I
do it.
hate that.
Yeah, I would never do anything to hurt anybody. Never.
Me either.
That's why I'm just kind of saying, yeah, I'm hurt and stuff, but I'm not gonna say names or anything because I'm not like that. I just don't.
But it does hurt just the same. I mean,
It does.
regardless.
Like sitting here being told I've got a whole bunch of people messaging me telling me that's my friend is doing a live.
Oh wow.
Not me. Not very happy.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about that. That's
it's not
mm,
right.
no, that's not.
I
That's
would never
not
do
cool
that.
at all.
No. If I was mad at somebody, I would go to them first before
That's
sitting
right.
there bashing them on my fucking channel.
You call them and talk it out.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I'm
Nikki, I
not.
think you're awesome, and I'm so thankful for you because you're one of these people that actually help build other people up and try to build them up. And like when people are like in a bad mood or feeling bad, they can always come on your channel and you always cheer people up. You have one of the most positive attitudes. So you know what? They're digging a hole for themselves that they're going to fall in. So
Thank
don't
you for
worry about it.
saying that.
We've got your back.
That's like on the weekend, there was quite a few people in my comment section. They're all having bad days. And so I think we figured it out. It was the full moon. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to go live. So I did. And it actually helped a lot of people. I brought them out of their bad mood. We had a huge laugh. It was fun.
Yeah.
I think that was not yesterday, right? No, that was Saturday. I did that. Yeah. All right. I'll finish this one here. Okay, so I pulled into the mall parking lot back behind Sears, and for some reason, I sat in my car for a few minutes before getting out. I don't remember exactly what I was doing. I think I had the paper with me and spent a few minutes glancing at it before I got out of the car. Then I opened the car door and walked into the back door of Sears. Right in back where the garden shop is. I had just walked into the store a few feet when I saw Reve. She was further inside with her back to me, and then she turned around. She had been crying, and she was in such a state. Her words to me were, "Oh, I can't find Adam, Graham. I can't find Adam." So I said, "Well, let's start looking. Tell me what happened." She told me that they had been over at Adam's school and that then they had come over to the mall. Sorry, it's so hard. I got so many messages coming in. She and I started down the two sides of the stores in the center of the mall. She went into every store on one side and I went to every one on the other. At any store that had an intercom, I asked if they would announce that they were looking for a little boy named Adam. Oops.
How much further is this chapter?
Um, I know, but oh, it's not too long. Okay, yeah, I thought it would be too.
Maybe because you've got that going on, maybe we could just like finish up this chapter and then you know.
Motherfucker. Now my son's being brought into this. Yeah,
Oh
I'm gonna.
no. Well, why don't we
Yeah.
go ahead and top this off, and then we can get back to this later, and you deal with that because no, that's not okay.
Wow.
I hate you can't say the name because I feel like we all need to kind of
I just, you
make
know
it
what?
make it for you.
No, you know what? Fuck it. I'm turning it off. I'm not stooping to their level. Never mind. I'm just gonna.
It would suck that people are like that.
Yeah. Shit. She told me that they've been over at Adam's school. I think I just read that. And that they had come over to the mall. She had been looking at Lance right down the aisle, right where you could have come around the corner and seen him. Instead of making him come with her, she had let him stay right there at the 2 video games, and then she couldn't find him. She and I started down the 2 sides of the store in the center of the mall. She went to every store one side, and I went to everyone in the other. We called Adam by name and what he was wearing, and if Adam was in the store, would he please come to the counter? I can't remember going into the Publix grocery store and asking to announce it over the intercom, and nobody would. They just said, nope, I haven't seen him. No little boy alone in that shirt and those pants. Adam was not a little boy who would run away. We knew him too well. We knew what to expect from him. We knew his behavior and what he had been taught. He would not have wandered away in the first place. We had never had the experience of him doing any such thing. It was serious. You knew right away from the minute. You just knew that was a heavy, terrible kind of fear, like the kind when someone is dying and you just know that things are bad. The mall wasn't large. It was a self-contained area. You could see from one end of the mall to the other. Hear all the intercoms, count all the stores. So after a while, everyone knew. When people started hearing Adam's name over and over, they began to get concerned. Have you seen this little boy, Adam Walsh? He had to be right around somewhere because he couldn't possibly be anywhere else. It was noon, in the middle of the day. There were big parking lots on both sides of the mall. People walking around a bus stop out front with some wooden benches. And nobody saw anything, which was so hard to believe. He was on the sidewalks. No one had been seeing him. It was like he had evaporated into thin air. Bad news, a bad feeling, bad right from the very first moment it happened. The security people from the mall came over to us. Perhaps they were the ones who called the police. I don't remember calling them myself. Well, of course not. You waited 2 hours and you were fucking around.
Exactly.
When the police came over, Vervae and I told what had happened. One policeman said to me, Mrs. Walsh, Adam probably just wandered off and he's on his way home. Why don't you get in your car, drive up that way? You'll always come to the mall, the regular route, and you'll probably see him along the street. The police were so certain that he was just a lost child, that he would show up and be fine. And girls, you don't worry.
Hold on a minute.
Mm-hmm.
No, Nikki did not say anything about Catholics being cannibals. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you serious, Julie?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself right now.
Like that's not cool at all.
Honestly, you don't you do realize that what we were talking about? Fundamentalists. Those people are disgusting, and those people need to get the fuck out of here.
And just to let you know, Julie, I studied the Catholic Church for about 10 years now, and the Pope and that higher up, a lot of them are cannibals. I don't know what Nikki said, but I'm just telling you, I know that for a fact, and I'm saying that on my name, okay? And she has nothing to do with what I'm saying, okay? So you can go screw yourself. Go back to your Catholic church, okay?
Did you even watch the stream that Steve McCrae and I did? I'm guessing no, because none of you guys do. You just like to flap your mouth. You can tell Dom to take his fucking stream and shove it up his ass too. I am so pissed off. This is not even cool. Don't come in here and do this at all ever again. I mean it. You go watch that stream and tell me how you feel. And you know what I said about cannibalism? All right, so I don't even know if it's when you're Christian or Catholic or whatsoever. They say, this is the blood of Christ, this is the flesh of Christ, right? And you're supposed to eat and drink that, right? That is almost like cannibalism, only it's not cannibalism because it's not real. But that's what they want you to refer it as. That's gross.
Actually, the Catholic Church does.
I'm allowed to have a fucking opinion.
You are allowed.
And you're have an opinion, and I don't need you people driving your faith down my fucking throat.
But Nikki, you're right though about that, because The
Well,
Catholic
exactly.
Church
Like, I don't
actually
agree
says
with
they turn it
religion.
into that by some magical way. They do. So you're right about that. You're not wrong.
No, like I don't. Nobody should be upset about that because it wasn't towards anybody. I'll
Right.
even play the goddamn stream. Yeah, you can be one of my mods, Crystal. Hold on. This is bullshit.
Like you don't. People don't have to come in here and listen, and they don't have to listen to you. If they don't like what you're saying, they can leave and go to another channel.
Bullshit. So she's getting booted, all right. I'm not doing this shit. We read a comic strip that had to do with fundamentalism and how disgusting they are to say as long as you pray to God that everything you do is okay. And in this comic strip, there was this little girl who was being RAPE'd by her
Hmm.
father, being passed around the goddamn town. And this
And that's
because
kind of what we're talking about with this
yeah, and
actual
because the
reading.
father and the mother prayed to God, that's okay. And Lisa, the poor,
No,
will just deal with it because they're fundies. That's what we're pissed off about, and that's what we are bitching about. And I will fucking bitch about it all day long, Julie.
hell yeah, I'll bitch about it. And guess what? I'm a Christian, and I even say that that's real Christians don't believe that's okay.
Yeah,
They don't believe that's okay. And you know what? The Catholic Church has been outed so much for priests molesting little children and little boys. I mean, come on, there's a whole thing about it, and they cover it up. And anybody who can stand with that is sick.
yeah, that's what we were bitching about. Honestly, I just don't like it when if you ever like Dawn, for instance. Now I don't care. Now I'm gonna say their names. My mod's Mare and my mod Sheba. Uh, they have been going in other people's chats and just bitching about me. They won't come to my face. They just do it behind your back. And I love these people. Like it fucking hurt. It still hurts. Now he's doing a whole stream about it. And I got people again coming in here pulling shit. Like, come on.
Starting stuff.
It's bullshit. This is not what this stream's supposed to be about. And I didn't want to
Right.
do this. Fuck.
Well, not only that, but you know what? I mean, the thing of it is, if they would even read the Bible, they would know that their religion is wrong because
It
you're
is
not
very
supposed to call
wrong.
anybody father but your father in heaven if you go by Christianity. And you're also not supposed to make idols, little wooden figurines. And you're not, and that thing up on the cross that they hang up there, I'm sorry, but that is not even the real Christ. I'm sorry, but it's not.
No. I
It's a
mean,
false religion. It's a cult.
yeah, I
If we
agree
want
with
to talk
that.
about what cults are, that is a cult.
Yeah, that's the thing. The fundamentalists, I'm not even going to apologize for that. They are honestly, in my own personal opinion, as well as everyone else, I would imagine, they are a cult. They're scary. What they believe in, and like this comic strip, it was called Chick Tracks. I don't know if you guys ever heard about that. There was a comic strip that was around a long time ago. I've never heard of it. Never once ever heard of
Well, it
it. And
sounds
that's just what I read
disgusting.
with Steve. It was a comic strip about fundamentalists and what their belief system was. And it made me freaking sick.
Well, anybody that thinks passing around children is okay, and I can promise you right now, I mean, if people would actually read the Bible, they would see God doesn't take too kindly to people doing things to children.
Yeah, exactly. And see, I agree. You know what? If you're a Christian, you're Catholic, honestly,
Mm,
good for you. That's amazing. I wish I was. Honestly, I
mm.
just don't have faith. And that's me. And I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to say
That's
that.
exactly right.
I'm
That's
allowed
exactly
to not
right.
have faith, just as like you guys are allowed to have faith. And I don't need you
Amen.
guys coming in here and saying stupid shit. My
Well,
son,
that's
for instance,
especially,
is Catholic. Okay. So if I'm that bad, you know what I'm saying? He's
yeah.
Catholic. I love my son and
But
I
your son
encourage
is
him.
not.
He goes to a
eh,
Catholic school. I mean,
But what I'm saying is that he's not up in the Vatican. He has nothing to do with what those people do. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about the people that just go to church. I'm talking about, the higher ups and stuff, just like in all these other churches. I don't care what the denomination is. There's a lot of them in all these different, like, big mega churches and stuff.
yeah,
Like,
it's
I hate to
scary.
say it, but Hillsong, I call Hillsong because we find out Brian Houston hid the fact that his father was a pedo, and that's disgusting. You don't hide that stuff.
That's what they do. I find a lot of these cults, they hide behind religion, and that's scary. So I'm not against anyone's faith. Never.
Exactly.
I am against religion as a whole when you are using churches and people and cults. I'm against cults.
Right,
And
exactly.
that's what fundamentalists are. That's what I was bashing. Of course I'm going to bash it. It's disgusting. And that comic that I read, oh my God, it broke my heart for that little girl. And it was a true story.
Oh, I'm sure it's true.
It
I'm
was
sure it's true.
disgusting. He's like, this is going to be, because Steve's like, this is going to blow your mind. This is disgusting. Yeah, my mods are doing this right now. Everybody's over on Just Doom's channel, but having a fucking Nikki bash. If you guys had a problem, you should have came to me instead of bashing me like you've been doing in everybody's fucking chat. I wasn't even going to say anything, but you know what? Fuck you guys. And
People
they
are
brought my
pretty
son
much-
into it. They're like, oh, so Nikki's trying to say that her son's a cannibal? What is wrong with you people? Seriously, like, what is wrong with you people? You don't bring my fucking kid into this shit. And you were modded on purpose, Patricia. I like your attitude. You're nasty and bitchy when you need to be like me.
Why would they bring a little child into that? That's disgusting. That is just
they're
a whole
doing this
nother level of evil.
and I don't know why. I don't know why.
There is something going on in the atmosphere. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been feeling it the last couple of days. It's been sick feeling. Like heavy.
I wasn't going to say anything, country girl, but it's going on right now, and Julie Virgo decided to put her mouth in everything.
I mean, why would she come over here and say that in the middle of something?
I don't care if her mom's Catholic or if her mother's Christian or whatever. Good for her. That's amazing. That's great. I do have a problem with fundamentalists.
Well, I have a problem with anybody that hurts children.
Yeah.
And hides behind religion to do it, especially.
Yeah, that comic, it was disgusting. I think what I'm going to do is after this, I'm going to go live again with that comic strip, and I'm going to have Steve on, and we're going to read this fucking thing again, and that way you guys get your own opinion.
Spread it out, yeah.
Yep, we'll get your own opinion, and you'll see what I mean. This is from fundamentalists. Oh, like, Thanks, Patricia. All right, sorry. Okay, I'm going to read the rest of this till the end of the chapter. It's not very long. And then I'm going to get a hold of Steve. Wait, I think you got a hold of me. Hold on. No, not yet. Okay. I did message him, so... And
I'm sorry for jumping about the Catholic religion.
No,
but
please.
She just made me mad by saying that because, I do, I'm sorry that I said that.
No, please don't be.
But I mean, it just really, really just hit me the wrong way because with the way she was twisting that, it just made me mad.
Like, how could they do that and then allow Julie Virgo out of all people to come in here? This, you know what? They're all like all my mods and my friends that I thought were my friends. They're all up AZ's ass, T-Spears's ass. The one who's being racist right now. That says a lot.
Oh wow, the one that we watched the other day.
Yep. They're all back.
Kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh.
If you don't like me, you don't like me. Don't hide behind a fucking religion exactly and say, "Oh, I'm upset because you did that comic with Steve." No, what their problem is they hate Steve McCray. That's what their problem is, and they don't like that we're friends. And their excuse is, "Oh, you did you read that, you read that comic strip." And now they're talking about how sorry, I can't get my words out. I'm so mad. It's just bullshit. It's okay, Teresa. It's all right.
Well, what does it even have to do? Like, why? Who cares if y'all read a comic strip? You know what I'm saying? That exposes something that was disgusting. That exposes something that should be exposed.
Yeah, exactly. I never even heard of anything like that. I didn't even know that. Do any of you guys ever heard of that? It's called Chick Tracks.
What's it called again?
Chick Tracks. Here, I'll put it in the stream. I mean, you guys can go.
I have never heard of that.
Me neither. So when he asked me to read this comic strip, I thought it was going to be funny. He's like, "No, it's going to blow your mind." He's like, "You're going to be like, wow." All right, it's called Chick Tracks, and that was the name of this comic strip from a man that made this comic strip, and he had it going for a long time. He's a fundamentalist, and his comics are based on fundamentalism.
What kind of fundamentalist? Like what?
Like they actually take the Bible literally, everything.
Yeah, but then he wouldn't be molesting children because that's not in the Bible.
Yeah, exactly.
So what
Exactly.
he's
No, but
twisting
because they
something.
prayed to God, it's okay.
Oh, it's no,
That's
it's not.
that was the point of it. Yeah, it was gross. Okay.
That is not okay, and that is oh no. Now that pisses me off, and I am a Christian.
Right? And they're saying that I bashed Christians for 45 minutes. We were talking about fundamentalism and what is included in religion. And I'm not going to apologize.
No, and I'll tell you right now, any person that thinks that that is okay, they're not actually even a true Christian if they would take the time to actually see what that was. You know what I'm saying? And people
Yeah.
have the right to believe what they want to believe. That's fine. You can not believe. Somebody can believe. They could be Catholic. I could be whatever I am. Why can't people just like be friends and get along? Why do you have to like go after people for either their faith or non-faith? Because I'll tell you now, like when I've gotten into altercations with people, the first thing they do is throw my faith in my face. Isn't that weird? And
Yeah.
now they're trying to throw that non whatever your belief in whatever in your face. And I mean, it's like
It's
it's
not
damned if
fair.
you do and damned if you don't. It doesn't matter. They'll find something.
That's ridiculous. It really is. I've been seeing them in other chats talking about me, and I haven't said anything to them. And then one of them, a mayor out of all people, called me a bitch. She's like, bye, bitch, bye. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, what is your problem? Yeah, she just attacked me. I'm like, wow, okay. If you guys have a problem, like I said, you should have came to me and said something instead of blasting and bashing me all over the internet. That's not how things work.
No,
It's
it's not.
childish.
And especially bringing your child in it.
The
That
Lord
is,
says it would be better to have a millstone placed around your neck and drown than to
that's
harm a
right.
child. I
That's
agree with
exactly
that.
right. It does say that.
Good.
And Jesus said of his own mouth, when they scolded him for trying to talk to the little children, and he told
Yeah.
them to get away from him. He said, because the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as them, as these. In other words, people who are so high and mighty and think so much of themselves, they need to
Yeah.
become more childlike. And it does say in the Bible that it would be better, for you to tie a millstone and be drowned into the depths of the sea than
Yeah.
to hurt a little one. And also it talks about shedding innocent blood and like the things that come along with that. So I mean, like the doing harmful, sick things to children is opposed to what God is. So like if
Yeah. What
anybody
they're
doesn't
doing.
agree with
Exactly.
what you're saying, they're
Yeah.
not. There's something wrong with their head.
Exactly. And like Patricia just said, none of what they're doing sounds Christian to me. Right?
It's not. It's not.
What the hell?
That makes me mad.
Oh, I'm mad. I'm hurt. And now I'm pissed.
I'm upset for you. I was thinking about that the whole time you were reading, to be honest with you. I couldn't even listen to what you were reading because I was sitting there thinking about all that other stuff like going on and you just reading and bless your heart, like that makes me even madder.
Yeah, it's not right.
That you were sitting there just trying to
I was
carry
trying,
on with
I've
what
been
you were
on, this has
doing.
been happening for a few days now. It's embarrassing. I've got people commenting to me and telling me that my mods have went rogue, that they hate me, that they're bashing me in other people's streams. It's disgusting. And I
That
still
is.
haven't said anything. Today's the first day that I'm pissed off. You got my attention now. Like, is that what you guys wanted? Yay,
Exactly.
congrats. Pieces of shit, all of
They should
you.
be ashamed of themselves. I mean, look, why don't they just unsubscribe and move on and go on to another channel? Like I told that other person that night that came in there talking that crap on my stream. Look, just leave. You know, you
Yeah.
don't have to talk crap about people.
No, it's not very Christian like at all. If you're
No,
such
it's not.
Christians, then why am I a bitch? Why are you going around talking and saying like nasty shit about me? Not right. Screw you guys. Not you guys. I love you guys. Those guys.
Well, we
Apparently,
got your back. We love
this
you.
Mercury retrograde brings the crazy out. Well, shit. That makes some sense.
There's a lot going on out there.
Holy. All right. I'm going to shit. Stop bitching. I'm going to read the rest of this book and then I'm going to get off of here and then make it because I just wanted to make this a John Walsh stream, not about, but oh well. Where the heck was I? I told John that we had been Okay, that's not where I went. I went to playground. It was summertime, and there was so this is the woman named Graham that is their friend. It was summertime, and there was a playground director, and I asked her if she had seen a little boy. I looked in the group of children and asked them if they had seen Adam. Nobody, no, hasn't been here. I had a key to the house and I let myself in. I went from room to room, all the rooms, one at a time. When I was done, I thought, this little boy doesn't have a key to the house. This little boy isn't going to be here. But I looked in every closet just the same. Under every bed, I called his name and went all through the house. But I knew he wasn't there, wasn't going to be. Then, as I was starting to lock up, the phone rang. It was John. I told him that we had been up at the mall and had lost track of Adam. I was at work in my office on the first floor of the Harbor House, a high rise on the ocean in Bell Harbor, about 10 miles from Hollywood. Sorry, now I'm reading for John. It had been a pretty ordinary morning. Phone calls, meetings, I don't remember the precise chain of events. I don't remember talking to Graham on the phone. I remember the calls having come from Reve. She said, John, something is wrong here. Really wrong. Adam is missing and I need you to get here. I could tell in her voice that no matter what anyone had to say to her, store security or the police, Reve knew from the minute it happened that something was seriously wrong. This was not normal behavior. This was not anything Adam would do. Something was up. She wasn't buying that what they were telling her. Reve isn't ordinarily an aggressive person, but right now she wanted to know where her boy was. So this time she wasn't taking everyone's face. I knew something was terribly wrong. 2 seconds later, I was in the car, speeding north on A1A. John Monahan knew people at the Florida Highway Patrol, so I had grabbed him on the way out of the office and he took a separate car. Joe, who was working in my office at the time, rode with me. I drove as fast as I could over to the mall, and when I ripped into the parking lot, the first thing I saw was our car, a big gray checker cab, just where Reve said it would be. I walked in and saw the back of Reve and called her name. She turned around, her face was white, absolutely ashen, and it was obvious that she had been crying. A terrible, desperate look was in her eyes and said, you can fix this. Yes, you can. I've seen you do it 100 times. The only words she spoke were, it's Adam, John. I can't find Adam. No one was listening to Reve. Why would they? She had on shorts, she was a woman, and she looked 19 years old. That's bullshit.
Wow. What a chauvinistic pig.
Yep. She needed a man to show up and ask the questions, pound the table, demand the answers. No one was paying any attention to what she was telling them. At that point, she still looked relatively calm. She hadn't come unglued yet, but I could tell it was coming. The cavalry had just ridden in, and I was supposed to lead the charge. That was the hard part, being the Lone Ranger, the businessman husband in a suit who's going to make the cops shape up and stop patronizing his wife.
Right.
John Walsh, accompanied by John Monahan, a big, imposing guy, all puffed up in a suit. I went into crisis mode. Think calm, and then I started in. I told myself, let's just get right into the drill here. Who was in charge? They pointed me to a uniformed cop. I went right up to him. I got in his face. Who saw what? What have you checked? Who's doing what? Where are they now? How are they doing it? When is it going to be done? This is what I've done during every emergency in my life. Stay in control, keep a cool head, get the answers. If you're in a crisis situation like that, you expect to see some outward signs. A bunch of police cruisers parked outside with their lights flashing, television crews gathering, something, but there was only a few uniformed cops standing around. I expected detectives. I wanted somebody bigger than a uniformed cop. All my life, I had taken care of my family. I knew that if anything ever went wrong, I was the best possible person to fix it. But on Monday, July 27th, 1981, at the Hollywood Mall, for the first time in my life, I began to know what real fear was. I had never really been afraid before. People had told me about fear. I had seen it in the faces of people I'd rescued from drowning. But now, for the first time, I was learning the feeling myself. We gradually became aware that it had begun to get dark. They were starting to lock the doors and turn up the lights. It was getting obvious that there was no point in hanging around the mall. We could be more productive elsewhere. Someone, probably one of the uniformed cops, suggested that we move over to the Hollywood police station across the street, just a short walk across the parking lot, not even driving distance. Finally, there was nothing to do but leave, walk out of the store, and leave without Adam. Reve, John Monahan, and I walked into the parking lot to where the checker was parked. The sun was going down. People were leaving. Soon everyone would be gone. We didn't want to move the car in case Adam found his way back to it. So we just left it there, unlocked. I don't know how long it stayed there in the parking lot, a few days maybe, but before we left, we opened the car door and Reve made a little bed for Adam in the back seat. She stacked up all of his books and toys and made a pillow for him out of his favorite blue blanket. Well, wouldn't someone stay in the car then if they really thought he was going to be back?
Right. That gives me chills when you read that.
Yeah.
Like, weird. I mean, But
We
it
wrote,
makes me also think about my child being lost and how that
yeah,
would feel leaving that mall. Oh my lord.
we wrote a note and then put it up on the dashboard so it would show through the windshield so that he could be able to see it before he even climbed in. Adam had said, "Stay in the car. Mommy and Daddy are looking for you." I would almost have one of them sit in the car, you know.
I probably would have slept in the car myself in the back seat.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
That
moved. I would have never moved from that mall because what if,
no.
just in case, he did walk away or,
And what
you
if
know,
he wandered back?
yeah,
But nobody was there.
yeah, I would stay there. I wouldn't leave. Or I'd even have like definitely I would have stayed as the mother, I would have stayed there. I would have never left that spot. I would have my
Yeah.
husband and police and everyone else go out and look for my son, but I would not move from that spot.
Same.
That's weird to me. And not calling the cops until almost or over 2 hours later.
Right. And the reason John wondered why all that wasn't going on is because they didn't call the cops. I mean,
Well,
in time for all that to go on.
I don't know. It's very.
I mean, it
And how
makes
can
you
you see the
think
dash?
about how
Yeah,
scary it would be for you as a mother if all this took place. If you
yeah,
really did just leave your kid for a minute or a couple minutes to see about a lamp, and you go back and there's no sign, like he vanished, like she said. I mean, I cannot imagine the misery and the heartbreak of that. But like you said, I would stay in that car just in
yeah.
case. I mean, they would have to rip me from that car.
Exactly. I would never leave. I wouldn't care if it was freezing, if it was the middle of winter in Canada. I would stay in that damn car. I would not move. I'd bring pillows, blankets, you name it. Food, water,
Mm-hmm.
everything. I would not move.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm just gonna read some comments, then I'm gonna get off of here and go live again, I guess.
Yeah.
This time. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. Fuck you too. Unless,
Bullshit. Call it bullshit.
yeah, or fuck you too.
Right.
Like to them.
Exactly.
I really get swearing with the F word when I'm mad.
You know what though? Nikki, you know that I'm a Christian, and you didn't have a problem doing this with me and
Not at
inviting
all.
me up here. And you know what I'm saying? And like I knew that you weren't necessarily a believer, but I don't care about that. I mean, I love you for your personality, who you are. I think you're a great person. And people just need to be real. Like,
I
quit
know.
being fake.
I don't like it at all.
And they should put on their big girl panties and come to you and talk to you about whatever their problem is
Yeah, instead of doing it in other people's streams where I wouldn't.
behind your back.
Yeah. I know, Deb, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah, she's been posting things on IG, but she's not going live. The
And that
sweetest.
and that and that thing that you showed, that live stream, the one that kind of everybody was in that funky mood, but we kind of started kind of laughing and feeling a little bit better that night.
Yeah.
Remember that you
Yeah.
showed us? Well, to be honest with
Everybody
you,
was.
if
Yeah.
if that if that said anything about me, I could honestly care less,
Yeah.
because that's just, you know what I'm saying. Like, you're on another whole level than that, honey. Don't even,
I just see
you
now.
know what I'm saying.
I feel bad now, and I feel bad for them because I freaked out. Oh, I know it's ridiculous, but I do because I didn't want to do that. Now that
Well, look, you're a human being and you got feelings. And especially if somebody goes after your kid, that's off
yeah,
limits. That's
yeah,
that's
that's
crossing
what
the
really
line.
pissed me off. Thank you guys for the nice comments. These are awesome. I love this group of people too. Everybody here is amazing.
And I've made comments about that's what I love about your channel. There's no BS. Everybody gets along. We have fun. We
Yeah.
laugh. No matter what our background is or what we believe, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, we talk about the haunted houses and spooky stuff, and then we talk about like other stuff, like fun stuff. We talk about KJ's crooked jaw and just the stupid stuff she like has no content about. I mean, it's funny. You're like, or you're to me, your channel's refreshing because most channels that you go on is a bunch of
Yeah.
with each other, and that's just.
I'd like to go live. I'm waiting to see if I don't know what Steve's doing. I messaged him, but he's not online. If he is, I'd like him to come over, and that way he can also not so much explain, but tell you what we did, and hopefully have, because I know he's got the comic, so that'll be good. We can kind of put that on the screen and show you guys what it was, and then then you guys can make your own decision instead of taking my word on it. So I want to do that way people see it too. So they might have a problem with how I was so like flippant about religion and stuff like that, but I don't like religion. Yeah, I believe that people obviously have faith, and that's amazing. I wish I did. I envy you guys. I do. Like, again, my son is Catholic. He believes in God, and I support him no matter what. He's my baby. He's my life.
That's right.
So to bring that in, and just because I said that, using wine or juice or whatever it is they use in the communion thing that they eat there, using that is akin to cannibalism. It's not, because obviously it's not flesh and blood, but to say that to a child, do you know how scary that is? Here's the blood. Here, you know what I'm saying? Here's the flesh of Christ. Here's the blood of Christ. Drink and eat this, please.
Well, right. Yeah, I mean, the way they get up there and do it, it's a little bit weird.
It's very over dramatic, and it's like, I'm not eating this guy's blood or drinking this guy's blood, and I'm not drinking, I'm not going to eat this piece of flesh off him, because as a child, I thought it was real. That's why I'm saying these things, because I have went to church when I was younger. Oh my God, my grandma dragged me all over the damn place. I had no choice. It was like, kid, you're coming. You're going to sing in this choir. You're going to do this, do that. And it's like, oh my God.
It's so funny. I was not raised at all in church, so I probably rebelled by going to church and getting saved. Yeah. That was like, I'll show you. I'll believe in God.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I have an opinion about things, and that's why I don't really necessarily believe.
Exactly. Everybody has their own.
That's on me. That's
path,
on me.
Like, everybody has their own road they go down and why they believe the certain things they do, and not everybody's walk is the same,
Yeah.
And it's okay, like, for other people to believe in different things. But listen, I don't care if you're a Christian, if you're whatever you are. Passing children around is not okay. It is not in the Bible that it is okay. And if you're saying that, you're a lying, dirty, rotten, disgusting scumbag. I'll tell you, I don't care what you say your belief is.
Yeah. And that's why I don't understand. If they're all Christians over there, and how is it okay for you to come over here and, talk crap to me and then do it in other channels? And if you guys are so Christian-like, don't you think that you would be better than what you're doing then?
Well, do you know that actually the Bible says if you have a problem with somebody, you're supposed to go straight to that person and you and them alone talk it out. Then if they won't listen to you, you bring another person with you, and two people try to talk it out with this person. But you know what I'm saying? Beyond that, you don't, like, basically you just walk away. You don't out people, and you don't, like, if you've been friends with them or you've been close with them, you don't out them and try to hurt them on purpose.
Yeah, it's not right. I mean,
no, and that's not Christian. I'm just telling you, it's not. So they can claim to be whatever they want to be, but that's not the truth.
Yeah, in your church, right, Brenda? You were taught it was the symbol of. And the reason why I said
same as my church. Like, we had some soda crackers and a little bit of juice.
Yeah, and that's what it was. Right? But when they're saying this is the the flesh of Christ and this is the blood of him,
they say that though.
Yeah, they do. And when you're a child, you think it's real. That's why I said it's akin to cannibalism. It's not real, but as a child, you think it is. Trust me.
It's called like the Eucharist or something, and they really do believe somehow that they somehow in their, I don't know what they like at the top. I'm talking about like Vatican level, okay? But they call it the Eucharist, and when they say that thing that they say, which I don't like to say it, like they really believe, like they're speaking about that being the actual flesh and the blood, and that is no. But they do say it like that.
They do. And that's why, and it's scary. It's obviously, it's always, the priest, the man, and he's always so stern in his voice and so strict. And you know what I'm saying? And they're like, this is the body of Christ. That's what I kept thinking, like, and that's why I'm saying that is like, they're telling that is cannibalism. If it was real, that was cannibalism. That's all I'm trying to say,
And who knows, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes and in the dark that people have come out and talked about, you know what I'm saying? I mean, way up high, you know what I'm saying? With the elite people and stuff that do weird things and hunting parties and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying, the conspiracy theories people call it, whatever.
Yeah.
But, these people that have a lot of money, I'm talking about the John Walsh and like what Megan's
Yeah.
talking about. Okay, do you understand? Like the Epstein Island stuff.
Yeah, that
Like
stuff.
there's some really sick stuff that these son of a bitches are into.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
and it's a real thing. And like, it's not even like, it's not okay to, I don't care what you say your religion is or what you say you do.
Yeah.
It's not okay to scare children, for one thing, and use religion to scare them into
And it's been
anything.
done too a lot,
You don't
that's what
do
we're
that. It should be love that draws people, not, make horrifying them with
yeah.
that kind of thing. And I think that we need to get off so that you can get on there and do your live, and maybe you can get in touch with what his name said that you did it with.
Steve, his name is Steve McRae, and a lot of people
Okay.
he's as controversial as KJ, not as bad, mind you. I mean, KJ's
Right.
horrible, but there's a lot of people that don't like Steve. It's been going on for years. I've known this man for just over a year. He's been very kind to me. I have anything bad to say about this man whatsoever. He's helped me a lot,
I think
and
I saw him one night on your channel, actually.
oh,
I
probably
think
I've
I
had
was
him.
on here one night. Yeah.
Yeah, like we want to do a stream about like ghosts and
Yeah.
aliens and stuff like that, because I'm into that stuff, and
Yeah.
he is. So I'm like, cool, we should do it together on my channel. It'll be awesome.
I think, didn't you talk about doing it around Halloween or something, like in October? Weren't you talking about that or doing something like that?
Yeah, I think that'd be neat.
Yeah, that'd be a good time for y'all to do it for sure from now until then, because like
Yeah.
of the time the season it is.
Yeah, like Mama Teresa, she's like, I believe one thing and my kids believe another. And guess what? I love my children no matter what and support them. Same here. Same here.
Exactly.
I'm the one that wanted my kid to go to a Catholic school. It was a better school. It was a better, it just, I don't know. I just
Well,
want him
if
to
you've
be
got a
brought up.
crappy school system, you have to give them whatever education you can give them the
Yeah.
best.
So I did, and I felt the better school was St. Mark's, so I enrolled him in it, and he loves it. He's got friends. He doesn't. There's no bullying. There, it's an amazing school. I really
Well,
like
that's
it
great.
compared to just the original public school. I wasn't going to send him there. I heard some bad
And
things.
you know what? And good for you. That that may not even be your fate, but that was okay because
Yeah.
you still wanted what's best for your son, even if that may
Exactly.
not be your belief.
Yeah, and that's why I did it. I'm his mom. I want the best for him.
Right.
That's why I enrolled him in that school, and I think that I made the best decision because
You did. Public schools have gone to crap in
yeah,
a handbasket.
yeah, and he's doing amazing. He loves it. He's got best friends. He's it's great.
And another good thing about some of those schools is they make them wear like a certain uniform so they can't like down another kid, like what John
Yeah.
Walsh was talking about. Oh, well, this costs $165.
Yeah.
Well, some kids, what I'm saying, like can't dress the same, and so that causes trouble.
Yeah.
And causes kids to be bullied. Like, do they have a uniform?
He doesn't. No, he doesn't. This is one of the schools that doesn't have a uniform. But in high
Really?
school, because he has a choice to either go to the one here, this public high school, or go to the one he'll have to take a bus for it, but it's in another town, and it's a Catholic high school. So he's going to have to make a choice when he's in grade 6 right now. So he's got until grade 8.
Oh, he's got a couple years.
Yeah, so he can decide. And in the Catholic high school, yes, it is. You do wear a uniform.
I thought so because I think all the ones here they make
Yeah.
them wear uniforms in high school.
Definitely. So I think that would be.
And probably because that's the age they start really worrying about, who's wearing what, this,
Yeah,
that.
that's why I like the uniform idea. Exactly that
Mhm.
reason. Then they won't be.
I like that.
Yeah, me too. And they look so formal, so cute.
I know.
They're so pretty and so cute. I was like,
Oh.
oh.
Well, if you want to, we can put this off until next Monday, and you go ahead and decompress a minute and try to get in touch with Steve, and we'll wait.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, what am I gonna do? I know I'm gonna call Teresa because I told her I would after this, so I'm gonna do that first. And I'll go in. Yeah, Deb, you can go live. I'll go in your chat. I gotta call Teresa because she's involved with this too. No, she's obviously on my side. She's my BFF. But I told her after this, she's got to tell me some things. So I gotta call her, get some shit straightened out. Not with us, but
if you can put a notification out so that if we're up, we can
yeah, I will
text
definitely.
you.
Oh yeah,
Because I want to see what happens too.
me too. So I don't know. I'm thinking if I can't get a hold, it's what 9 o'clock now. If I can't get a hold of Steve within, I'm gonna say what 10:30. I don't want to go too late because with him and we are both talkers, we'll be on forever. I'm trying to think like, okay. Hopefully he gets back to me by 10:30. If so, then yeah, I'll go live tonight. If not, we are going live tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be live. I don't have a thumbnail though. Shit, I should do that. I'll do that. So
what time is it tomorrow?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
What time do you usually get done with, like, your son comes home from school now and has all that and supper and
yeah, he gets home at 4. Well, he's sick right now. Imagine that. Yeah, his first
bless
week,
him.
and now he's got a cold. So I kept him home just because COVID's around and
you don't want to take any chances.
That's what I said, and he said no.
Heck no.
Either. He's sad that he has to stay home, but he gets it. So I'm gonna keep him for a few days. So I've got pretty much all day tomorrow. I'm just thinking. I'm gonna go. I don't know. 7 seems to be good Eastern time for me for some reason. Then we're done our dinner because we do stuff during the day if he's home or whatever. Like during summer and stuff. He's not feeling well, so I'm gonna kind of tend to him and whatnot. And I got some stuff to do around the house too that I really need to get onto. So I'll do that, and then tomorrow I'll do a live at 7 with Steve. That's a for sure.
Okay.
And
we can all look out for that.
That one's actually going to be about uni rock. Yeah, I found.
Is that the one?
Information.
Is that the one that you were talking about the other day?
Yeah, he's got some information that he said he wants to share with me, and it's pretty sketchy. It's pretty scary. It has to do with the dark web, and it's like, whoa, yeah.
I want to hear that because
same here. So that's the one I'm going to do tomorrow night for sure. If I can,
I'll be on then.
Yeah.
I'll be
then
watching
Wednesday
that.
I do Wednesday's usually my KJ stream, and then Thursday is the Helter Skelter, but I'm just wondering if I should go live about this or not. I don't honestly want to be like them. So I'm thinking that I'm just gonna go over to Deb's.
Deb's channel. I think I subscribed.
Yeah, Juju posted it. Thank you. That's what I'm thinking. You know what? Screw this. I'm not gonna be them.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I bitched enough on this one. I'm done.
We can always bitch along. We can bitch along.
Yeah, I'll make a thumbnail tonight and I'll put it out for 7 p.m. tomorrow night Eastern time, and then we'll go over the uni and dark web type thing. So this will be fun.
Yeah,
I just
having me on.
I'm
so sorry that all that happened to you tonight.
You know what? It's all right. It's people are assholes. I'm learning that every freaking day.
They are, and you know what? It seems to be getting worse. I don't know. Have y'all noticed that? People are like, my husband talks about it. He's like, I can't go in McDonald's and order anything without somebody being an asshole to me just to take my order. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and it's just like even friends or people that you know, it just seems like they're being, I don't know, just kind of
shitheads,
crappy attitude.
I never think that would ever happen, and then when it does, you're like, holy shit, like really? And it hurts. So because
that's the thing. What
you bottle it up,
nobody can
freak out, and every word out of your mouth is fuck. Sorry,
unless I care about somebody, they can't really make me mad because unless I don't get mad unless I'm hurt.
That's why
if somebody hurts me, ooh.
Yeah, when I get to the point where I'm gonna cry, oh yeah, that words are gonna come flying. And
I don't blame you. Well, I'm glad that you could vent at least.
Yeah. And I just want to have a whole, stream about you did this to me, and then it's just going to be a big messy.
You know what? You didn't say anything. You didn't say anybody's name, and somebody came in here and they started it with you.
Yeah, and that's when I blew up. And then when I see that comment about my son, that's when I lost it.
That's right. So you didn't do anything wrong.
I can't shut my mouth when it comes to him.
I don't blame you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd have probably said worse if somebody said something about my son. So I think you held it pretty good.
Yeah,
I'd have probably jumped off here and jumped on that other stream. And I probably.
I was going to say, hey guys, hold on 1 second. I'm out. I'm going to go.
Right, exactly.
But I'm like, no, don't.
I can't help it though when it comes to my kid.
Yeah. That's why you wanted it on your step? Yeah, because almost no one knows you. Yeah, not all the people. She doesn't have a lot of subs right now.
So
You'll
can we
get.
come over to your place and bitch, Deb?
Yeah, let's go have a bitch fest on Deb Mormer's channel. It's in the
Right.
chat. Everybody subscribe, and we'll go over there. I'm going to be on the phone with Teresa, so I'll be in the chat. So I'll be doing 2 things at once, plus making a thumbnail. So you'll be there to laugh at me because I'm probably going to make a lot of spelling mistakes and not make sense. I'll type out what I hear in my ear or something. Trust me, I am a natural blonde.
That sounds good.
Oh yes, the ditzy Nazi blonde. Nitsy. See, I'm already doing it. Nikki, I know it hurts. Feel it for a few and let it go. Thank you so much. That's what I had to do. Was just kind of
That's right.
I had my fit. I had my bitch fit. I said what I said, and I wouldn't have to. Oh my God, we're gonna be okay. So Teresa's got to cook too. So we'll be on the phone. She's cooking. I'll make a thumbnail, and I'll be in the chat, and then I'll go up on her page. Oh my God, this is gonna be great.
Oh, God. Well, it's good. It's good to talk to y'all tonight and to read a little bit of this. And I'm glad it didn't get too heavy yet because of this other thing that happened was crappy.
Yeah. So we'll do this again every Monday at 7, right?
Yep. Sounds good.
Unless you say different. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you guys. Yeah. Like Teresa said.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks guys for, hanging out with me. Sorry I went off. To you guys anyways, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to F. I try not to swear so much, but when I get upset, it just happens. Oh. It's easy, Deb says. Oh. I just cooked. Nikki is always live during my dinner time. I left the burner on a couple of times being distracted. Sorry, Juju. I don't know, was it you that said I posted yours and Little Mousy Girl's channel on my community tab. So I need to do that also for Deb and Brenda that are in here. Put you guys on there too. Thanks, Crystal. Okay, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to call Teresa. So Teresa, get your phone on. All right. Oh yeah, you got to hear my new intro and outro. This is cool. So thanks to Jesse LaRusso. Oh my God. You know that song he always plays? I love it. So I'm like, what is it? He told me today on his live. So I took it and I made it my intro. Oh, good, Juju. I'm glad I could help you. All right. So here's my outro. Oh, that's good. All right. Where is it? There it is.